Don't be fucking chatting to me, Morgan Kinsey, while I'm trying to do my fucking thumbnails. You understand? I don't know how people like you keep getting in before I'm starting the stream. I have no idea why people like you keep getting in the stream before I've even clicked go. Fuck off telling me to hurry up, you bitch. Oh, but welcome to the MMA Guru Live. I forgot this one's going up. So what's up, guys? How's it going? I hope you saw I hope you saw what I saw in that Volkanovski Max stare down. Masvidal's getting manhandled. I mean, I'm just looking at these weigh-ins, and I'm particularly intrigued by it, if you know what I'm saying. Let me just actually bring up the weigh-ins right now. I don't think I saw what you saw in the Volkanovski Holloway stare down. I'm not sure what you're alluding to there. One thing I did notice is that someone grabbed the other guy's dick for some bizarre reason. I don't know why that happened. Martin Day is not taller than Davey Grant, so those measurements are wrong. I don't know where they get their tape measures from. So that was wrong. Julia Avila is not the same height as the girl she's fighting, so that's wrong as well. They don't know how to measure them. Howley Paver's going to fuck up Zalgas and Magulov so badly. It's going to be somewhat embarrassing. What race is that guy? Interesting. But still, I reckon he's going to dust him up real bad. Then you got Marcin Tybura looking obese as usual. Nice to see. Nice to see. He'll definitely get the job done on that guy. He's much smaller than him. If that's how we judge fights, you know, just size-based wins. And you go Leonardo Santos. I don't see Roman Bogatov beating him, man. Roman Bogatov, I just don't see it happening. And then he grabs it. Santos's. It was weird because he looked like he actually touched it, you know. Aldo looking very good. I thought Aldo was tiny compared to Jan, and then they zoomed out, and I saw Jan had his shoes on, his trainers on, and Aldo had nothing on his feet whatsoever. So it kind of put my heart to rest because I was like, oh my God, Jan's going to smoke this guy, you know? Bas versus Van Zandt, what an entertaining stare down to watch. This was the most entertaining stare down. I got hours of material out of this. Wonderful, especially when she walks away. That was the best part there. And then you got Namajunas versus Andrade. Andrade looks like an atom weight for some bizarre reason, but still, we'll see what goes on there. Jan, Aldo was an entertaining stare down. They seem pretty friendly. And then the Volkanovski Holloway stare down was almost, I don't know. Holloway just doesn't look like Holloway to me anymore. Maybe it's the mask and the hair. Obviously, there's some massive changes that he's made to himself, but he just, I don't know. If you were to tell me that was Holloway's cousin or something and not actually Max Holloway, I reckon I'd believe you, honestly, because he looks nothing like him anymore. Something's changed with his face. The same Max that looked weird is not there anymore, you know. Max looks hungry for the first time in years. This is the retardation that I'm hating so much recently. The retardation of that. He looks hungry for the first time in years. Because he wasn't hungry when he took it off Aldo. He didn't want it then. Wasn't hungry anymore. I don't know, man. I just don't feel like that's an accurate assessment to make. And then Jorge Masvidal came out of the closet at the weigh-ins, expressing his homosexual love for Kamaru Usman. I believe he said, I'm going to have fun playing with your ass tomorrow. I don't know what they've got planned after the fights are over, but I think they should keep their sexual lives to themselves rather than talking about them on a stage in front of loads of people. I just think it should be something that's kept secret, man. We don't need to hear about your anal adventures, honestly. You know, I feel like both Jorge's recent career and Adesanya's career are so over the top, movie edited. Like, they are both good, but I think they made it to be more than they actually are. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just, I think Adesanya more so than Masvidal, because Masvidal is like a movie style come up, you know, because he came out, he was fighting in the streets, and like Masvidal's recorded his whole life. So it's not really them movie editing it, but for Adesanya, it's just too movie edited. Like, I don't know. It's like they're desperately trying to get the attention of Hollywood, but I mean, credit to them if they do, but I mean, there's not really much story of Adesanya, you know? I know he wants to make a lot of fighters want there to be a story to themselves. If there's no story to you, you have to make stuff up. Like, you don't have to lie like Usman and say he walked miles for water even though he's a millionaire. Like, it's just, I don't know why people do that. It makes no sense. And for Adesanya, like, what come up did you have? You had servants, you know, you're a kid and you had servants. Like, it's not like this big rags to riches story like McGregor. and I don't think there can ever be the Mike Tyson rags to riches story anymore. What's up, guys? Everyone who's saying hello in the chat, how's it going? I don't think there can be a Mike Tyson rags to riches anymore, because the closest thing we had to it was Conor McGregor, and he lived in like a 5-bedroom semi-detached house in a renovated loft, not having to pay rent whatsoever, while his parents just sort of accommodated. Like, there is no rags to riches anymore. Like, the most rags to riches I can think of is Darren Till, and even he wasn't, like, just because he got stabbed and had to move to Brazil to escape the crime. Like, that's the only way. But, like, even he didn't live in that bad of conditions, you know? Izzy is overweight. What? Ngannou, sorry. Ngannou. God, how did that name not immediately come out of my mouth? Ngannou is the only rags to riches story, you know? Time will tell, mate. You said that about Mike Perry by decision bet, and I'm up $1,000. You must be replying to someone else. I have no idea what you're talking about. Did you see Usman called out GSP? Yep, what a great way to show everyone that you aren't a money fight. Call out the money fight all the time. Why don't these people understand? Like Tyron Woodley gets the belt, same thing. I want the money fight. Well, now you've just told everyone you aren't the money fight. So cool. No one's going to watch you anymore. Like, it's just leave 39-year-old GSP alone, man. There's a reason Masvidal isn't mentioning him too much, as far as I'm aware. Leave his 39-year-old ass alone. Let him just relax, become intoxicated in a hot tub somewhere, surrounded by women. Just let him have his life. Stop trying to pick on GSP and get him after his prime. Fuck these guys. Usman is scared of Masvidal, I think. I don't like that. I don't like that. All of a sudden, every single weigh-in there is has about 50 million psychologists and body language experts in the comments. They're looking at each other. Like, they're going to do things. I don't understand that. Like, oh, Masvidal, Usman's got nervous energy. Can't you guys sense it? No. Like, he's just moving around because it might be cold up there on stage in front of everyone in his T-shirt, like in an AC. Are you guys working together? How did you both donate the same amount at the same exact time? Well, I don't mean to say the same amount because, Captain Tripp's kind of outdone Mr. $9.99, but thank you, Don't Panics. Don't panic, don't panic. Dad's Army reference. You didn't, I don't think you knew, I don't think you recognized that I might understand that, but I know that one. Don't panic. Like, my family have said that for years. Don't panic. I'm a trucker, and listening to your live chats makes sitting in traffic actually bearable. The amount of laughs I have is priceless. Thank you, Guru. You can pronounce my name as just Don't Panic. I pronounced it in the perfect way, exactly how that guy says it in Dad's Army. But thank you very much for the $10. I think it's Dad's Army. It might not be, but I'm very sure it is. Thank you for the $10. Don't panic. I appreciate it very much. Hope I keep your traffic stops nice and entertaining. And who has the most to lose it? And who has the most to gain at UFC 251? The most to lose is Kamaru Usman, because the only thing keeping him relevant whatsoever is the fact that he's welterweight champion. And even that itself, what shows have you seen Usman on? What big interview stations have you seen reaching out to Kamaru Usman? What like, if Usman loses the belt, he's nothing. Like, he really is nothing in society. So that's where Usman has the most to lose, because not only is it that, because the only thing keeping him valid is the belt, and the only thing keeping him popular is the belt. But if Masvidal KOs him on a week's notice, it's even more embarrassing because it's on a week's notice. Even if Masvidal has been training this whole time, it's way more embarrassing. If Usman loses against Masvidal on a week's notice, and I'm doing quotation marks here, then that's going to be a huge loss to him. He has the most to lose. Usman has everything to lose here. And the most to gain, I would say, would be Paige Van Zandt, in all honesty. Or Jiri. Oh, no. Jiri Prochaska has the most to gain. 100%. Masvidal's already going to be earning good money for the rest of his career. But if Jiri Prochaska comes in and just destroys Volkan Ozdemir in the first round, I don't think it's going to happen. But if he does, top 10 light heavyweight in the UFC in your UFC debut, 2 fights away from a title shot, like, that's the most to gain. Jiri Prochaska for sure. In the prelim headliner of UFC 251 Fight Island, I mean, can't get much bigger than that. Alejandro Sanchez, unless you're the main event or anywhere on the main card, of course. Alejandro Sanchez, $5. I'm taking a nice poop at the moment. Think you should feel special. Well, you're the one I think of while I drop the little buddies at the pool. Interesting. dropping the kids off at the pool. I think that's a Jack Whitehall joke, but thank you for the $5. I appreciate you, Alejandro Sanchez, my man. Weigh-in thoughts. I've given them. They're interesting. The size of people interests me every single time because I don't see how they're the same weight class. I don't think Masvidal cut 20 pounds because Usman didn't cut much more than 20 pounds. I reckon Usman gets down to about 195 and then begins his cut. And he is not 5 pounds bigger than Jorge Masvidal. There's just no way. Like, if you look at the shoulders of them, look at where the shoulders sit. Don't look at the heads. Look at the shoulders because that's their body. The head means nothing in a fight other than sometimes if it's big enough, you can take a bit of damage like Vicente Luque. However, the shoulders tell the tale. Usman's way bigger than Masvidal. And the shoulders also dictate who's going to win in the clinch because the people with the higher shoulders are always going to be in an advantage because the guys who are smaller and have lower shoulders, their underhooks, or if you've got underhooks on them, they have to be on their toes, like tiptoes. You saw that in Darren Till versus Kelvin Gastelum. Till was winning the clinch exchanges because he was just naturally taller than Kelvin and he knew how to use it, you know. Got any bets in mind for this weekend, mate? I have no idea what I'm going to do, but I'm probably going to do something where I pick the outcome of the fights rather than the winner. So the TKO or the decision, something like that. I have no idea what I'm doing. Usman has a very weird, deformed head shape. Yeah, he looks like the Abomination from Incredible Hulk. Abomination images. Yeah, he has that kind of head shape. Like there's something going on in there. But, you know, it's unfortunate head shape for Usman. But, you know, like maybe if Usman had a realistically sized head, he wouldn't have a bad hairline. But it's just like the hairline's just spread so thin. It's like, Jesus, we have no chance of covering this fucking dome. You know, so let's just give up. Whereas if he had a bit of a smaller head and a bit more of a normal size, his hair might have a bit of an easier time covering it, you know? Usman's fan base is huge. Nah. Anyone else got any false statements to share in my chat? Who is the biggest upset? I'd say Jiri Prochaska. Masvidal, it's not far-fetched to assume that Masvidal beats Kamaru Usman because the odds are so crazy. They shouldn't be what they are. I just think Usman beats Masvidal. It's not far-fetched to believe that Holloway beats... Oh, actually, Paige Van Zandt. If Paige Van Zandt wins, it's going to be huge, and I'm going to make all my money back. So that'll be very enjoyable, sorry. Me imagining Marty KO'd makes me happy. It really does make me happy. And I don't know why, but I've got a vibe like Usman's going to TKO. I've got a vibe like Usman's going to drop him or something on the feet and actually have a decent time striking. Jose Aldo's looking small against Piotr Yan. Yan had his trainers on with pumps and Aldo didn't have any shoes on. They're the same height. They're exactly the same height. So, yeah. Did you notice that Usman's only 1 inch taller than Masvidal, but he's wore these trainers with a couple inches at the bottom, lol? Fair enough. Usman more teaser head. Very cool. Exactly. That's the feeling I have as well. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I just feel like Usman's going to... do some shit on the feet. I watched Masvidal versus Diaz 2 again. And I thought to myself, this ain't that dominant as I remembered. Like, I thought Masvidal had, like, dominated Diaz at every cost. But what I saw in the Diaz versus Masvidal rematch, and Diaz is not a good fighter, remember, not a title elimination bout whatsoever, barely top 15. But what I saw was Nate doing okay. And then Masvidal just getting the better of it in the big moments that won him the rounds. You know, like the dropping moments. Or the elbows at the end of one of the rounds to secure himself that one by dominant win. I don't know. It's just, that wasn't the fight I remembered whatsoever, to be honest with you. At all. But, you know. Guru doesn't have feet, bro. Yeah, I don't. Guru, do you think Olivi cheats on Benavidez? I have no idea, but apparently Benavidez is having depressed things and getting angry for no reason and maybe don't sign up against Figueiredo again. I don't know. It's just a little bit strange to me, you know. Who are you picking? Especially because if he's this emotional, he's going to carry that emotion right into a Figueiredo right hand, and that's not going to be good at all. What a rematch, Guru. They had only one fight. Oh, yeah, they were mentioning the rematch, sorry. The first fight, but Masvidal's been talking about the rematch recently, so it's just stuck in my head, you know. Aldo looked dreadful on the scales. Yan's odds have gotten higher. And Yan looked like he doesn't really cut much weight. Even though he's a big guy for the division, he didn't look drained at all, you know? So, you know, it's all good. All hate aside, when Usman broke Colby's jaw, that was power and good striking. It was really good striking. He steps in behind everything that he does. That's something you have to give Usman. Like, he actually is decent on the feet. Do you see GSP versus Usman happening? No. If it's Masvidal, then maybe GSP will entertain the idea. But I don't think he has anything to gain. He's already the greatest welterweight of all time until someone breaks his record. So that's just it, you know? I think Aldo didn't look bad. I mean, he didn't look good, but he wasn't terrible. He wasn't like Aspen Ladd against Jermaine Durandamy, where she's just fucking trembling around all over the place. She definitely milked that, by the way, because no one's trembling that much after a weight cut. And she doesn't even cut that much weight. She just wanted to make it look like she really tried, but whatever. Leon Edwards had a hard upbringing from Birmingham. He actually did. But they just don't sell those stories. They sell Woodley, who's just, you know, what did Woodley go through? I know he comes out with these stories about he was sleeping on the sofa and this, but that's not the case. I'm pretty sure I saw someone debunk that as well. Like, find some real people for us to get behind, you know? Rags to riches. We need the real rags to riches. They should just invest everything they have in Ngannou right now. Shots fired at Ladd. I just think that she milked it a bit. I think a lot of people milk it on the scales. If you notice, every single time someone misses weight, they look terrible. They don't look as bad as when they made weight, but they always try and be like, oh, I tried though. Look, I'm shaking. Like, I drained so much water out of me that it's given me fucking Parkinson's. Like, that doesn't happen, you know? Do the Phineas and Ferb song, that won't be happening. Who missed? No one missed weight. Leon Edwards is so underrated. He is so underrated. I think he'd actually have a good chance of beating Gilbert Burns. Starting to like Edwards recently. Yeah, once you get past the annoying voice, he's actually a nice guy, you know? You missed weight. That's what's your excuse? I didn't miss weight. I've never been told to make weight in my life. Leon Edwards is so underrated. Pressure heavy on Usman. If he loses, his dream of welterweight GOAT is over. His dream of welterweight GOAT is over. Masvidal would never give him a rematch like ever. Yeah, there's no way. The pressure's big on Usman here. But, you know, we'll see what happens. Paver missed. Wow, that's horrible. But we'll see what happens. Wow, no one gives a fuck, and it's disappeared. I missed that one. Dana said 251 was bigger than Khabib versus Conor. It's just not the case, is it? Like, I understand that, but, I mean, every single time someone asks Dana White how the pay-per-view's doing, he goes, great. Great. This is trending on the same level, and it's never the same level. But, you know, I don't think this will do more than UFC 244. Fight Island is a big deal. You know, and the recent news is also quite a big deal. But, I mean, let me see the embedded. The embedded views give me a decent idea on how something's... I mean, the embedded views are actually pretty fucking good. I'll give him that. Maybe it is trending similarly because... maybe Masvidal stepping in on short notice has done him a bit of a favor because it's all of a sudden and everyone's covering it, you know? Whereas if it was known for a long time that this was going to happen and they had a long training camp, it wouldn't capture the excitement. But let me look at UFC 229 embedded. Also, I've noticed on embedded, they keep putting Masvidal or Usman in... no, not Masvidal or Usman. They keep putting Masvidal in the thumbnails and then just not showing anything of Masvidal. You know? Like, I watch embeddeds to see what goes on in Masvidal's situation. Like, I don't really give a fuck how Andrade is doing. No offense to Jessica Andrade. They could really cut those bits out, and I would not feel any different about the embedded episodes. But, you know, they got to make it to 10 minutes. And they don't even make it to 10 minutes. What's the point? Remove Andrade. If they were filling up to 10 minutes to get some mid-roll adverts in there, I could understand it. But, you know, 229 is blowing this out the water numbers-wise, though. Embedded episode 1 for... let me see. Embedded episode 1 for UFC 251 got 1.6 million views. And embedded episode 1 for UFC 229 was 3.2 million. I know it's got some views after the fact that the fight has happened. But that ain't many views. Like, the majority of them do happen as they're coming out, you know? That's a massive difference. Episode 6, episode 2 went way down to 2.1 though. And episode 2 of UFC 251 went way up. You know, it could be good. I think Fight Island is helping it a lot. Fight Island is helping it a lot. And also they've got good fights to put out for free fights as well. Vulcan to win by decision is 4-1. I don't think he wins it by decision. I think he TKOs him. I hope the UFC 4 is as good as UFC 3. I mean, that would be terrible. $5 from Wade's Venture. Thank you, Wade's Venture. I appreciate you, even though you have not sent a message. I appreciate the $5 anyway. I'll take it. I don't have to answer anything. Nice. That's a free $5. Very nice indeed. I just had a can of Pepsi and it's gone. I don't know where. I think they're trying to escape me. They were 50,000 people watching the weigh-ins live at Peak MMA Fighting 25K, BT Sport 15K, MMA Junkie 12K. Interesting. Jerry is super. And that's gone. Fuck. Are you buying UFC 4? I'm not going to be buying UFC 4. I will never play it, so I'm not going to do it. I've been watching Jerry's fights. He's actually pretty good. He is actually pretty good. But against who? You know? Who's he good against? You know? CB Dollaway? And he is good. He's got good technique. He's fast as well for a light heavyweight, which could come into effect here. But against who, man? You know, I don't care how you look against CB Dollaway. KO him. Thank you. Now move on. You know, I think that a normal guy like Leon come off as boring among the childish weirdos of MMA. Conor, Jorge, Adesanya, Till, T. Wood, John Jones, Perry, and so on. It's not normal behavior. I don't know. Yeah. You just become, if you don't have the majority of the promotion behind you, you just need to become memeable and you will gather yourself an audience. You know, if Leon Edwards has to be the meme of the guy that never gets the notice, then he's going to end up like Tony Ferguson and then become a big star at the end of it all, you know? But like the main thing, if you aren't getting the promotion of the UFC behind you and you're not winning every single fight that's been put in front of you, just become a meme, punch an old man in a bar. And maybe don't do that as Mike Perry did, but still become memeable and you'll get some kind of following, you know? Look at Nico Price. Just entertaining fights and interesting finishes. Not particularly amazing, not going on any record-long win streaks or anything like that. But because you don't know how he's going to finish it, you watch the hybrid. He does it all, you know? He's a meme. James Vick is watched for getting KO'd in hilarious fashion. Name a highlight video without James Vick in it. Like it's just on the receiving end of KOs. Like it just doesn't exist, you know? Like James Vick, that's the meme. People will watch James Vick. That's how it goes. UFC 246 Embedded had more views than UFC 251. Interesting. Yeah, UFC 246 was big. Was very big. Was that McGregor versus Cerrone? Yeah, 246. More episodes. I mean, more views. I think the sport's just getting bigger in general. So it's not even fair to compare it to 229, you know? The sport is just, ever since this whole Rona shit, sport's going crazy. 29, 28 Ige. What the fuck? I mean, even that, Ige getting robbery wins. That could be the meme of Dan Ige, you know? Jury is super confident and ready. I smell upset. We'll see what happens, man. I think everyone's pretty confident and ready, you know? Juru doesn't wash. That's not true. Ige, Juru. I don't know why I'm being called Juru. Never mind. I'm not Jewish, though. Look at it. Does it Hawani anywhere, you know? I don't know where the idea of that is. I don't understand it. Usman made Masvidal look small. I don't think Jorge was 20 pounds. He wouldn't be eating pizza, would. I mean, he isn't 20 pounds over. I told you guys. It's just, I don't know what's going on with Masvidal. He's either playing the biggest 7D chess game I've ever seen in my life, or he's lying and coming up with a backup plan. It's one of the two things. And Masvidal fans, you can side, and I'm a Masvidal fan. We can maybe hope that it's a 7D chess game, but there's a part of me that feels like he's making it more epic than it is, you know? But that's okay. Fuck Joe Rogan. I mean, Joe Rogan came out again with another thing like, oh my God, Joe Rogan's so brave. What did he say? Joe Rogan decries win bonuses and judging in the UFC. I just don't think it's fair. Everyone gets a prize. That's just how it is. If you lose, you get less money. I feel like maybe if you just pay people to show up, their performances don't change. Their performances aren't good. If you pay someone the same to show up than to win as well on top of it. I mean, sorry, if you pay someone the same to just show up, just pay them to show up, then they're not going to put in good performances and they're not going to care very much if they lose. And then you've got boxing. Well done. You know, I'm banning you, Money Man. You spam way too much. 300 seconds. Out you go. You got to learn your lesson. You're actually trashing me as well. I didn't even mean, I didn't even notice you were trashing me with it as well. Sorry, dude. You were trashing me about saying that Jorge was lying. I literally called this from the beginning. I don't understand what you're talking about. But now the chat's a bit slower. Sorry about that one, dude. Tyron Woodley medical suspension is done July 15th. So Woodley saying he got an offer on Monday to fight Colby isn't totally unbelievable, if you know what I mean. July 15th. Yeah, but they don't offer you fights if you're not out of medical suspension. Woodley last week made a video saying the doctor just cleared him to hit a heavy bag and run. He wasn't being offered bouts against Colby Covington. I just don't. Makes no fucking sense, man. I don't get it. I don't buy a single fucking thing that Woodley says about Colby. I genuinely believe, and maybe I become this oracle who saw it all from the beginning, and you'll be looking back on this live stream a year from now. I think Woodley doesn't want to fight Colby, and I think that he's just tried to get Colby on short notice every single time, and he doesn't want it on full camp. I genuinely think that Woodley's ducking Covington. They've trained together. He knows what happened. Like, I don't know. I just think that Woodley's actually ducking him. And I wouldn't say that lightly, but I really do think he is. Even though it's like Woodley says that Colby shut him down and Woodley said this. Like, Woodley, you could have had the Colby Covington fight, the big money fight that Woodley was waiting for his entire career. He could have had it if he just waited for a different event, but no. Woodley wanted Colby Covington after just having a septum or whatever he had removed or something in his face. He had facial surgery on his nose. Woodley wanted him in 6 weeks or wasn't fighting Colby Covington whatsoever. Wait a month and get your big money fight with Colby, that easy money that you're talking about. No, you want to take on Darren Till and missed weight on short notice. Fair enough. You want to headline your own event. I get it. Right. Then Leon Edwards falls out. Colby Covington, sign up and fight. Well, no, that's on short notice. Why the fuck would you do that? It doesn't make any sense, you know? Just do Colby versus Woodley. Covington isn't a draw. Covington isn't a draw. Covington's walkout against Robbie Lawler has more views than some of these embedded episodes. What the fuck are you talking about? Colby Covington walkout. 1.5 million views on embedded. Not on embedded, on BT Sport. His walkout has got more views than some of these UFC 251 embedded episodes. What are you talking about? Colby Covington is not a draw. I will bet 1 million on Qatar. I mean, I think he's going to win. I was watching his fight with Andre Philly. I did not know that I knew it, but I didn't really remember the fight too much. It was a good fight. Andre Philly's just been around for such a long time. When you really think about things, and I was watching some Qatar fights recently and some Qatar highlights, look at the resume of him in such a short time of being inside the UFC. Look at the names that Calvin Qatar has been matched against. And it's ridiculous. I don't think anyone's had it. He joins the UFC, fights Andre Philly, beats him. Then he gets given Shane Burgos. Next up, beats him as well. Then he gets thrown to Renato Moicano. Leg kick problem exposed. Then he gets given Chris Fishgold, who at the time was 18-2. You know, like, it's just ridiculous. I think he was 18-1 at the time, actually, Chris Fishgold. Great grappler. Dusts him up in the first round with a shot. Like, it's just Ricardo Lamas after that. That was when Lamas was still ranked and somewhat respected as a contender, you know. Zabit Magomed Sharipov, then Jeremy Stevens, now Dan Ige. I mean, this might be the easiest fight of his career, honestly. This might be the least pressure fight in Calvin Qatar's career. Where does Kevin Lee fits on Fight Island? I have no idea where Kevin Lee fits on Fight Island. Probably just, I have no fucking idea whatsoever. A YouTube video is not a draw. It is, though, because it's people that have seen him. I love Colby, but he's not a draw. His pay-per-view numbers in 255 prove that. 245. But to be fair, like, that was at the end of the year. You know, they never really do too good at the end of the year. Around Christmas, you know, the card before Christmas is at the time when everyone's looking to splash their money on a pay-per-view. You know, Colby against some rando doesn't crack 300k buys. Depends on how you define a draw. Okay, thank you for saying it with an L at the end. I think Colby Covington is a draw. You know, I really do. I just think that he's not... I don't even know what it is because everything he does gets so many views. How, I don't know, maybe it was just because it was around Christmas, but I mean, the views talk. You know, his Octagon interview, 1.1 million views after UFC, after he beat Damian Maia. All the way back then, 1.1 million views. That's a lot. That's a lot. I don't know. More followers, case. I absolutely love Colby. He's entertaining, and I appreciate that. I think he adds so much to it. He adds the storyline. Maybe he doesn't get the pay-per-view buys. Maybe he doesn't get the pay-per-view buys. I'll give you that. He's not the biggest draw, but he doesn't get the pay-per-view buys. What he does do is create the promotion. He creates the story, you know? Like, name Usman versus Burns doesn't break 100K. You know, like, I don't think you can blame 245's numbers solely on Colby Covington, really. Can you watch the main event live on Fight Pass? No, you can't at all. You can watch the prelims, though. 1.1 mil views equals 100K buys. I guess so. How do you think a Wonderboy and Masvidal rematch would go? I think Masvidal would beat him. Genuinely. I think Wonderboy loses to a lot of guys right now. I like Wonderboy, man. I just, I see some things in Wonderboy. I've been really good at predicting Wonderboy's fights. If you can shit on me for other predictions and maybe not getting all of the main events right and the championship fights. I'm pretty sure I've predicted every single one of Wonderboy's fights correctly. I picked him to beat Masvidal, but that was before I had a channel, so there's no point even bringing that up. I picked him to lose to Till by decision. No, I didn't. I think I picked it by TKO, but I picked him to lose to Till. Picked him to lose to Pettis by TKO. Picked him to beat Luque by decision. Like, I've been okay with Wonderboy. I think I've got a good gist on who beats him and who doesn't. And I think that Masvidal would beat him in a rematch. The leg kicks are there from the beginning. He'll mix in the wrestling as well this time. Masvidal's a little bit less arrogant, I feel. He knows what he wants a bit more, you know. Before he used to be a little bit, I'm not going to shoot on him because of this. I'm not going to use that game plan. I just want to punch him in the face. Well, no, you got to throw leg kicks first. You know, even though it's not the most dignified move in the game, throw some leg kicks. You know, they work on Wonderboy. They really do. Aim for the rear leg and Wonderboy circles into it. It's what happens. Look what Pettis did to him. I'm praying I see Marty flying knee and then ref trips and Masvidal punches him an extra 7 times. Well, I don't want to see Usman die. But I would like a couple after these out, you know? Just one. Just one extra one. Like Derek Lewis, Travis Brown. I don't know. We'll see what happens. How confident are you in McCann to win against Santos? I think she is going to win. She's just tough. And I think she's actually a fighter, which is hard to come by in the female divisions. But I think she wins, for sure. Masvidal didn't eat pizza. He just took a pick. Fair enough. Colby would be a draw as champion. Yeah. As a challenger, it's hard to bring the numbers in. Unless you're Conor McGregor, obviously. Or Jorge Masvidal. But Masvidal already has a belt. And already main evented a pay-per-view. So it's interesting. But if you look at... I don't know. Colby's kind of been... His numbers are weird. So they give him a card where he headlines a pay-per-view of Usman just before Christmas. And then the New Jersey card that he did with... or no, not the New Jersey card. I think it was DC or something like that. I don't even know where it was. Hang on a second. Covington versus Lawler. Where was it? Where was the card? UFC Newark. They did that one in the middle of the day, remember? Do you guys remember that one? They did it in the middle of the day for some bizarre reason. They did it at like the very early part of the day. I don't know what they're doing. I think they're not capitalizing on Colby the way they could. It was NJ. Masvidal's elbows will be the factor. I put 50 on him for TKO under 4.5 rounds with 10-1. Caught the lines early. Nice, dude. Very nice. Usman by flying knee. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Cody versus Rafael is the most savage knockout this year. Yeah. I'd say so. It's definitely in the mix. I can't think of one to compete with it. I like Sean O'Malley's KO, but I understand it was Eddie Wineland and that was supposed to happen. Like, Cody was an underdog or like a minor favorite against a Sunsao, you know? So I feel like Cody, and it was at the end of the bell. But then again, the fight before that was not very good, but still, it was a brutal KO. So maybe Cody does get it. I don't see anyone else who could really get it, though. How can Nate beat Masvidal in a rematch? He can't because he's Nate Diaz. Thank you. His game will not change. They refuse to change their game. If they lose, they say it's bullshit because the company's against them, or that the guy's a pussy for trying to take him down, or that the guy's a pussy for kicking his legs. They will never change their game whatsoever. Nate can't beat Masvidal in a rematch, lol. Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to explain it to this guy. It's just, if you think that Nate's going to make some dramatic change in his style, Nate's been fighting for 10 years, over that maybe. And I've seen him add a front kick to his game, and that's it. You know, UFC offers Muradov a fight with Hall. He has agreed, and then the UFC says Fight Island cards are full. Interesting. Uriah Hall's fighting Yoel Romero on August 22nd, though. Why would they offer him a fight with Hall? I think they should do Makhmud Muradov versus Rodolfo Vieira. I think that'd be the best thing they could do. Ponzinibbio retires at 33. Sad. I mean, I don't give a fuck. He's been retired for 2 years as far as I'm concerned. One day you'll defend Nate, and the next you'll shit on him so hard. No, I was shitting on him yesterday and the day before that as well. I don't know if you've just got to the stream, but you haven't because you've been here for a while, Oscar, but I genuinely shit on Nate very often. Maybe you don't watch. Nate can beat Jorge in a weed smoking contest. That's about it. I mean, even then, as a joke, I mean, I don't mind. What are the odds, you know? Did Ponzi actually retire? I have no idea. I just believe people in my chat until I'm proven otherwise. Do you think this will break McGregor-Khabib numbers? Nah, I don't. I think UFC 249's buzz was bigger than this. You know? I don't think I'm getting the same buzz that 249 gave. I reckon it'll do Diaz Masvidal numbers. I reckon just with the other title fights on. I don't even know if it'll do. I think it'll do 600,000. You know? Maybe. I don't see it breaking the McGregor-Khabib numbers, you know. Only thing Nate beats Masvidal is in is a BJJ comp. I mean, even then, I don't know. Like, Nate's good, though. He submitted Takanori Gomi, who got submitted by Sean O'Malley. Who else did Nate submit? Oh, yeah, Connor with staph infection, diving and giving up a submission. Who else did Nate submit again? Jim Miller. Yeah. Anyone high level? Who did Nate submit that's high level? All right, no one. Interesting. Nate won tough. I know, dude. It'll break Diaz Maz numbers. I think we'll see. Yeah, I've watched every stream for like 1.5 years, Drew. Oh, well, then you aren't listening, dude. Def breaking Diaz Masvidal. I don't even know what the numbers were for Diaz Masvidal. I'm just assuming they were around 700,000. Why the fuck are we talking about Nate? I have no idea. People keep driving me to talk about him. Nate just tries to. Okay, I'm going to stop reading things that start with Nate. McGregor is a name that's been put into my chat right now. Dana White said they sold more merch this week than all of UFC, all of in 2019. Yeah, but they're also coming out with all new merch, you know? So I don't know if that's fair. They've literally come out with all this new Fight Island merch. So I don't know if you could, I don't know, whatever. It's good though. It's good stuff. I don't think the merch sales are the, are a good idea on how people are going to buy the pay-per-view, really. Talk about Vulcan. Vulcan's good. Nick Diaz is a ninja. Oh, I just snapped something. Money. They sold more merch because UFC never made action figures before. There you go. Let's talk about Vulcan, for fuck's sake. Vulcan's going to win against Jiri Prochaska. Thanks for making me talking about it. Everyone's leaving now because it's so fucking boring. Good job, dude. I can see Alexander finishing Max, unfortunately. Hopefully Max wins to help my top 5 GOAT argument for him. Yeah. Vulcan is going to obliterate Jiri. I think Vulcan's going to have a good chance against Jiri. I think he'll beat him. Most definitely. Second round TKO. Jiri's going to have a dangerous first round. I just don't see him KOing Ozdemir. I just don't see that happening. Guru, did you see that Vulcan looked in absolute best shape of his entire life? I suspect he's getting sick of these close ones, close wars, and plans to get this done quick. We'll see what happens, man. He's looking in good shape. And also, Jiri Prochaska, before moving to Fight Island, was considered 6'4.5", and he's shorter than Ozdemir. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but he's just shrunk overnight, I guess. Maybe they left him in the wash. Weasel gave Max 20% chance to win. Agree with that? I'd say it's higher than 20%. I'd say 25, 30. 20% seems a bit harsh on Max because he's still got a chance, and I'm not buying the Zoom classes thing. I I don't think if he did do that, he's mentally retarded and he deserves CTE and brain damage. Like, if he actually did not train for this and did the Zoom classes, he's mentally retarded. But I'm willing to side on the fact that he didn't do that, you know? Holloway has shorter arms, thinner framed body, weaker lungs, less strength. How's he going to win? I don't think he wins. I don't know. Unless he changes his game, he's not going to win. If you change your game in a championship bout, it rarely ever pays off, you know? But I can't wait. We'll see what happens. I can't wait for tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. UFC Hawaii. Also, I read a study the other day that shorter arms are an evolutionary trait because of people that fought with, like, countries that fought with swords and shields naturally have shorter arms than others. Read that somewhere yesterday night while I was scrolling through my phone. I thought that was quite interesting. Wear your mask, Guru. Max is getting the dub. Dana, take me to Hawaii. You know why? Yours Hawaii. What's cringier, Venom or Tap Out? I have no idea, but I'm down, man. I really don't care who wins the UFC sponsorship deal. I really don't give a fuck. But why didn't UFC go for Nike or Under Armour? Because they would influence. I don't know why they wouldn't do that. Venom is a combat sports brand, though, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. So maybe that's why they went for it. But I'm pretty sure Nike isn't looking. I'm sure. Don't mess up my words here. But there's something with sports brands where they don't really want to be affiliated with too many different sports. Like, they'll pick a sport and they'll laser in on that one. Or they'll pick a couple of sports. Like, Nike's a pretty established woke. There you go. So I don't think they would like to associate themselves with various other sports, but especially the UFC. Because if someone dies from getting KO'd in Venom gear, who the fuck cares? I didn't even know what Venom was until it came up. But, like, someone dies wearing a pair of Nike shorts. I don't know. I just feel like they don't want to risk it for their branding, but they'll let football players or NFL players sprint headfirst into each other. But, you know, it's all good. Demetrius Johnson versus Francis Ngannou. Who wins? I don't know. Be interesting. Demetrius Johnson versus Francis Ngannou. How many Demetrius Johnsons? Just one? Oh, that's just absolute carnage. Obviously, Demetrius would win. You have to give him multiple Demetrius Johnsons just to make it fair for Ngannou. You know, because once there's so many DJs, it creates a larger bulk of mass that Ngannou can actually land on. Because, you know, if there's all the DJs together, they're just going to form together like Megatron. But, you know, one DJ zipping about in between his legs, tripping him up and shit. Like, I don't think that would go well for Ngannou. You know, I think your face has a lot of wrinkles on it. The light covers it up. I have bags under my eyes, but the light is in that bag. I'll turn it off. Well, there's still a light from my monitor, so I can't really change that without turning the monitor off. But I don't have too many wrinkles on my face. How dare you, you bloody cunt. $2 from Patrick Shaughnessy. Most common question, any parlay yet? Quick free leg? I'll tell you what I'm thinking on my parlay. You want a bit of a free leg parlay? I'll give you 3 guys that are definitely going to win on the prelims. You ready for this? You ready for this? I don't think you're ready for it, but I'm going to give you the fucking juiciest parlay you've ever seen in your bloody life. I think Howley and Paver wins. Blanc. Then it goes. There's one of them. I think Carol Rosa wins. Blanc. There's one of them as well. I think Leonardo Santos wins. Blanc. There's one more. And I think Makwana Mikani wins. Blink. There's another one. We put 5 on that. And get yourself 25. Nice. Yeah, that's really boring now. I don't know. I don't really like fucking odds. I'll just wait until the day before. Or it is the day before. So I'll do it tonight, I guess. Shogun will make a comeback. No, there's only one Glover Teixeira, you know. When Leon Edwards wants the main event winner but says Burns is next. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just there's some dumb. That's okay. Leon Edwards is doing it his own way. Listen, if Leon Edwards needs to be the Tony Ferguson of the welterweight division, let that be. Keep winning fights. Keep upgrading your contracts. and you'll be fine. One thing I don't want to see from Leon Edwards, though, is him sitting out on the sidelines being inactive. That just makes no sense, and I don't know why you would do it. Who's more of a biased commentator, Anik whenever DC is fighting, or Joe Rogan whenever a muscular black guy is fighting? Joe Rogan, for sure, whenever a muscular black guy is fighting, or anyone who's been on his show is fighting. He's also doing that. But if he's friends with the guy, he'll be completely anti-biased against them. So he'll be so biased against them to make sure that he's not seen being biased for his friend who's in the cage. Like when Donald Cerrone fights, Joe Rogan, you know, it's just he holds himself back, but it works negatively, I feel like. You might be the whitest person I've ever seen. You are super pale, almost sickly, and I live in Sweden. I'm not that white. I mean, I'm Irish and Scottish, so... Sorry for being white, dude. Will Masvidal call out Conor Colby or thump or drop down to face Cab? I don't know. If you watch Joe Rogan's first UFC appearance, it's obvious that he's gay and likes it up the ramp. I mean, I've seen it, but, you know, it's so good. I mean, I've heard some stuff about Joe Rogan, but this VOD's going up. This live stream's going up on my channel, so I don't know if I want to talk too much about Joe Rogan's transsexual desires in Thailand. But that's okay. That's okay. You know, he can do what he wants. It's up to him, you know. It's 2020, you know. Let people fuck transsexuals if they would like. I almost used a shorter word. Don't do jewelry like that. You mean meatball eating mong? I have no idea what that means. Usman trash 100%. What's your prediction for Masvidal versus Usman? Usman wins by decision. 50-45. There's no 10-8s. I've decided against 10-8s because Masvidal's he's too active on bottom, you know? So I don't think he's going to let Usman just settle there. Usman's going to have to scramble on top, but I think he can get it. He's not that white. I'm pretty white though, guys. I'm pretty fucking white, you know? Usman KO Masvidal. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he does well on the feet against him though, you know? Joe Rogan raw dogs Mike Perry. I don't think that's the case. No. Who's that idiot announcing at the weigh-ins today? I have no idea. I don't know how these people get their jobs, but they get their jobs, man. Good for them. Yan versus Aldo. Who wins? Yan, man. Yan wins by TKO. Aldo's not going to fucking beat him. If he does, I'll fucking eat my words, and Aldo will be fucking great, in my opinion. But it's just, I don't think it happens. I really don't. I just don't see it. I think Yan really fucking beats him up badly. I don't know. I just got a sense that Yan's going to do some fucking crime in that cage. It's going to be pretty bad. But I was making cards last night, and I think I found some good cards. Maybe we can traverse into talking about some of the cards I've built. Nike would look way better to clean cut. Nike would look way too clean cut and mainstream. Under Armour still isn't too highly established, and Venom's forte is martial arts. It was the best choice. It was the best choice. Nike's too mainstream. I also feel like Nike would influence the sport. They're that big and established. They wouldn't just be the branding for the fighters. They'd be trying to sneak their way into the sport of MMA as well. You know, do you know what I mean? I think Nike would go rummaging. You know, I don't think I trust Nike because I think they try and change some things. Like all Nike, now you've got our millions and millions and millions funding you, and you're dependent on us. We want earlier stoppages because we don't want to have our brand tarnished like that and have blood everywhere. Anytime someone gets cut, we have to change it. Call it off earlier if there's a cut because we don't want blood on our things. I just think they'd be too mainstream and woke, you know. Any parlay yet? Yeah, but fuck that. Let's talk about the card I fucking made yesterday because it's a beautiful card, by the way. One of the best cards you may ever see in your life. This isn't a card. This is my matchmaking. I like it how I'm acting like I have a job here. I literally have a matchmaking document where I've got all of the fights I want to see in every single division. And I've got the cards. But these are some good cards. Really, really good cards. UFC Fight Night, August 22nd. Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Vera, main event. Co-main event, already booked. Yoel Romero versus Uriah Hall. Feature fight, Masad Bektik versus Kron Gracie. Already booked. Fight underneath the feature fight. Michelle Waterson versus Angela Hill. Open up the main card. Arnold Allen versus Sadiq Youssef. Headline the prelims with the already booked. Ovin St. Preux versus Shamil Gamzatov. Danny Roberts gets rebooked against Tristan Connolly. And Mariota Agapova versus Shayna Dobson is also booked. That's a fucking good card, man. $2 from Alex Gagnon. Jorge doesn't wear cup and it slips out. Usman bars it. Jorge doesn't wear a cup unit, slips out. Usman bars it. I have no idea. Guru said Yoel can't wrestle. Name me a guy Yoel Romero out-wrestled. We can do this every time someone denies my truth. Yoel Romero cannot wrestle in MMA. You say he cannot wrestle. Cannot wrestle in MMA. I'm sure he can do very well in the Olympics when he was in his prime. His wrestling doesn't work in MMA whatsoever. He's not good. His wrestling's never a problem. Why doesn't Yoel use his wrestling? Because every time he does, it fails. Because the Olympian Cuban genetics can't take down Robert Whittaker from Australia because of their in-depth Australian wrestling leagues. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Danny, I know Robert Whittaker was in the Commonwealth Games, but still, I'm done hearing about this Olympic shit. You ain't done nothing. 100% agreed. Big difference between wrestling and MMA wrestling, bro. I know, like, collegiate wrestling's perfect for it. Olympic wrestling, international wrestling, the fucking point is scored as soon as the guy hits the ground and then you stand back up. Like, you don't learn anything to be used in MMA. George Ramos, $5. Thank you very much. Who is the sleeper in each division? In your opinion, he's donated $5, guys. He's going to hog up a good few minutes of me going through the rankings here. It's worth it, though. And you're not that white, like not as Paper or Edmund Shabazian, and Yoel hasn't wrestled well in MMA. At least you agree with me here, but I'll go a sleeper in each division. But a sleeper's got to be someone that you don't notice. So I can't have someone that's known by people. But I think that Brandon Moreno, but this, everyone knows who the fucking sleepers are, though. So they're not sleepers. But Brandon Moreno, I think, is a dangerous flyweight to deal with, especially against strikers in the flyweight division. Very bad matchups for him. He's very loose on the feet. He's got long arms, long legs as well. He knows how to use them. Brandon Moreno is going to be a tough test. And he's young. Still only like 26 or something. 27 maybe. So he's still got time. So Brandon Moreno, in my opinion, is a good fighter. A sleeper at bantamweight, I would say, is still Jimmy Rivera. I think that Jimmy Rivera is going to beat Cody Stamann. I think he's very good. I've been watching some of his fights. He's very good. Alex Perez at flyweight. Yep, there you go. He's a big boy as well. There's a better name, Alex Perez. Featherweight, the sleeper, in my opinion, is... I mean, everyone knows Josh Emmett's going to be tough. But it depends who's champion. But I think Josh Emmett's a sleeper right now, especially with the casual fans. They don't seem to pay attention to him. So Josh Emmett's big. I mean, I had Shane Burgos as the dark horse of the division, and Josh Emmett fucking beat him. Close fight, really close fight, but Josh Emmett beat him. So you got to give it up to Josh Emmett. Then the lightweight division, I think the sleeper is Drew Dober. I think if Drew Dober, I don't see who Drew Dober loses to, because he's one of the guys that I can't see getting TKO'd, and he's improving his jiu-jitsu. I think Dober's going to be a real problem at lightweight. Josh Emmett is dangerous. Josh Emmett is a beast. Yeah, Josh Emmett's in there. Arnold Allen, I think Allen loses to Sadiq Youssef. I think he loses to him. I think Arnold Allen does well against other guys in the division, but I think he'll lose to Sadiq Youssef. Kamaru Usman will kill George Masvidal. Masvidal will get killed. You just watch, Beanie Boy. I picked Usman to win, but thanks for your $2, dumb fuck. Cool. Maz KO US. Actually, no, you're not dumb, because you gave me money. No one who gives me money is dumb. In fact, them just giving me money proves their intellect. He's actually a genius. What a great guy. What do you think about Masvidal saying he would rematch Wonderboy or rematch Diaz if he beats Marty? Sounds like a shit show if Diaz gets a title shot. If Diaz gets a title shot, then the UFC is done. I said this in my video, my last video that I put out. If Diaz gets a rematch against Masvidal for the belt, he's number 11. There's no explaining that whatsoever. You know? There isn't. There's no promotion for that. Oh, we didn't see Nate Diaz die in the first fight, so he might win the rematch. No, we saw him lose the whole thing, even though it wasn't as dominant as I quite remember. He lost the whole fight. Dober will go the same Gaethje route. I think he's going to go now. I think he's had his losses in his career that he's going to have. Guru knows deep down Max is going to take this rematch. I hope he wins. I just don't think it happens at all. Usman's going to fuck up Masvidal real good. I just can't wait. You can't wait for Usman to fuck up Masvidal? You are against the good of the sport, good sir. I think Usman wins. I can't wait to be right if he does win. But I do not want to see it happen. If I see Usman beating Masvidal, I'm going to be very upset. You know? Why not try UFC 4 Beta Guru? It looks decent. And what if it's better than 2 by miles? Maybe I will try it out. Who knows? Jorge going to go the Bisping route and get the upset, fight a guy not in the top 10 and profit? Yeah, probably. Who knows? Adesanya is a sleeper. Actually, that's true. They did give Bisping Dan Henderson. I'm taking Volkan Usman. Yeah, that's good bets. Who commentating this weekend? Joe Rogan, Michael Bisping, and DC, I believe. And John Anik, obviously. He's always there. Guru Big Man, not who you think. Who do you personally want to win tomorrow night? Here's who I want to win in every fight tomorrow night. Every single fight, here's who I want to win. Martin Day, because he's younger. And Davy Grant's 34, so he's not going to make it to the rankings before dying. So give it to Martin Day. Carol Rosa, younger, better looking as well. So Carol Rosa, better record as well. Howley and Paver, I want to win. Marcin Tybura, just because he's an established name already, and Maxim Grishin is 36 years of age and no one fucking knows who he is. So I'd rather Marcin Tybura lose to one of our prospects on the come-up than Maxim Grishin, but Marcin Tybura for sure. Leonardo Santos. No, I want Roman Bogatov to win, but he's not going to win at all. But I want Roman Bogatov because he's younger, 29, coming into his prime, undefeated as well, fought some great opponents. It's just he's a jiu-jitsu expert. He's not a jiu-jitsu expert, but he finishes the vast majority of his fights that he finishes by submission, and you aren't going to submit Leonardo Santos. That just doesn't happen, in my opinion. It's just fucking impossible. Is he a 4th degree black belt or something? It's not going to happen. Makwana Mirkani, I want him to win. Muslim Salikov is a bit more marketable than Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos just because of the Dagestani stuff. They seem to be pretty marketable right now. If you just attach their names to Khabib's, they can go pretty far. So I'll root for Salikov there. He's got a better record as well. And the Zaleski is, I mean, they're both fucking old, so I don't really care who wins that one, but I think Zaleski beats him. Ozdemir, I hope loses to Projaska, because if Projaska wins, that is just a new burst of life in the light heavyweight division that I would love to see. Because as much as I like Ozdemir, I haven't ever really entertained. I've never been entertained by an Ozdemir interview. I'll be honest with you guys. Amanda Ribas versus Paige Van Zandt. Obviously, we're hoping that Ribas wins, and some people might think that's crazy. But if Van Zandt wins, she's going to fight once every 2 years. She's going to complain about money, and nothing's going to happen. She'll probably break her arm throwing another spinning back fist. Like, I just can't be asked with Paige Van Zandt being inactive and boring. I want Ribas to win. I think she gets it done as well. Nami Yunus, obviously, we need Nami Yunus versus Zhang rather than Draj versus Zhang. Yan, I want to win. Holloway, I want to win. And Masvidal, I wish he would just KO that fuck out of the fucking division. But Usman's going to win. But I hope the Masvidal does. Why don't you marry him? I don't know who you're talking about. I mentioned about 50 fighters' names just then. Van Zandt is plus 675, though, worthy of $100 bet. I mean, it's kind of worth it, you know. Van Zandt want free agency. I mean, that's just retarded then. Ribas finish? No, I think she does it by decision. Thoughts on Brendan Shaw planning his comeback at light heavy? That's not happening. Joe Rogan isn't at Yas Island. Huh. So I guess it's going to be Cruz, Anik, DC, and Bisping. 3 fighters. So Bisping's going to go, wow! That's literally Bisping's commentary. Wow! Oh my God! Wow! That's all Bisping's commentary is, screaming wow as loud as he can. If you're saying the word wow, you're not actually wowed by it, you know? Ho Hogan will come on the day of the fight. That's true. Cuban Jeans, my God, fuck Joe Rogan. So uneducated for $100 million podcast. Rogan uses big words to look smarter, but he makes no valid points when debating in his podcasts. I mean, Rogan just has thoughts and thinks that makes him genius, you know? Mifio, Bisping. I mean, that's all he does. Wow! That's all it is. What the fuck? I didn't get a notification. A lot of people don't seem to be getting them, but that's okay. We'll just deal with it, you know? Them trying to shut us down. Bisping's the worst commentator. He's okay, but it's just, I don't think Bisping likes the sport. You know? Does anyone else get that vibe? That Bisping doesn't actually like the UFC? Like, he doesn't like He's not a mega fan of the fights. Like, I think get the mega fans of the fights on there as commentators. Like, I can tell that Cruz loves watching people fight because he can. I think Cruz doesn't even love watching people fight. He just loves watching people so he could critique them and give them advice, you know? But I don't know. It's weird. Bisping is still better than Rogan. Bisping and Cruz will replace Rogan's bum ass, both passionate about MMA. I wish that Bisping and Cruz would still be going at each other in the commentary more. I know they do it a little bit, but it used to be Bisping and Cruz's rivalry was one of the best in MMA. Like, because you could, I like it when you can tell there's friendship there as well, you know. You should be a commentator. I know I should, but, you know, I'll say it how it is, you know. People would tell me that, I don't know. Listen, if I was commentating, you'd think Gaethje versus Ferguson was 2-2 going into the fifth, maybe 3-1. So maybe you guys don't want me commentating because no one likes my opinions at the time until a few weeks are removed and they watch the fights again. Thoughts on McGregor and Jorge possible matchup? It makes no sense. I'd rather them do it when they both have belts, potentially. That would be the huge money. But I get it. It would be a good thing. It'd be a really good fight. But I just think I'd like to see McGregor at 55. I want to see him versus Poirier. I want to see him earn a title shot. I'm done with this jumping cues. You should only really do super fights if the division needs a super fight, you know? Once you've got all of these contenders and Colby one fight away from a title shot, Leon Edwards, Gilbert Burns all waiting for their shot. That's not when you do a super fight because you just ruin your division and half your contenders. It makes no sense. So just don't do super fights until you need them. So let Masvidal, let Burns get something, Edwards get something. Maybe Burns versus Edwards. The loser doesn't have to worry. We don't have to worry about them anymore. But the winner, let's sort them out. Colby versus Woodley, and if Colby wins, move him up to get the title shot. But when you've got the contenders, like, that's such a difficult time. There's so many times in divisions where you have no contenders and there's no hype behind the title fighters. That's when you do the super fights. But people just want to do super fights when there's all these contenders. It's like, what the fuck? Ebb and flow. Wait till they drop down again. Eventually there will be less contenders, then do the super fight. Do you bet on fights? Yeah, sometimes. All of the time now. Guru, I hate it when ESPN constantly brings up Conor. It's so annoying. I mean, he's the biggest name in the sport, so you can't really blame him. Calm down. Conor versus Wonderboy. Conor McGregor, KO, first round. Woodley is done. If Aldo can get a title shot coming off a loss, Tony would be more deserving of a title shot. It's true. It's true. It is true. And what if... Here's another conundrum to you guys that I was thinking about yesterday. Yesterday night, I was playing a game called Frostpunk. And I was thinking about UFC. If Ferguson beat Dan Hooker and McGregor beat Dustin Poirier, who would you guys say deserves the title shot next? And here's the thing. I think I've got it. I've given you guys enough time to put your stuff in the chat because there's a bit of a delay. But I think that the idea is if Gaethje wins, McGregor deserves it because Gaethje just beat Tony. But if Khabib wins, we don't give up the chance at Tony versus Khabib. And we give Tony first, you know? Tony, everyone's going with Tony. But do you agree with what I'm saying, though, about the Gaethje thing? Isn't that a good idea? Smooth brain. I don't know why you keep saying that. Usman kills Masvidal in round 1, a choke. Place a $500 bet on it. I mean, I don't see that happening, but he's got long arms. Maybe he catches him in a DAS in deep half or something. We'll see what happens. Usman kills Masvidal in round 1, a choke. Yes, yeah. I think that's fair play. Guru, who in the lightweight beats Khabib? Oliveira, I think, would beat him. Not even joking. I think Oliveira would beat him. Ferguson probably wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe Ferguson would beat him. I just think that some of these... I think people... I don't know, man. I've just been watching Tony Ferguson's fights again, and I don't think Khabib would be completely outclassed on the feet. But he would be outclassed, but I don't think it would be as dominant as people would think, you know? Like, I could actually see Khabib rocking Tony at some point, because Khabib hits hard, but he just doesn't land it very often. But, you know, I just rewatched Qatar Stevens. Qatar's boxing in the second round is nasty. He's going to TKO Ige. I think he TKOs Ige in the second as well. Charles Oliveira, Ferguson, sure. Conor, sure. But Oliveira? Why not Oliveira? Kevin Lee defeated Edson Barboza in a more dominant fashion than Khabib did, in my opinion, in terms of ground and pound. Kevin Lee got on top of Oliveira and just got, not completely, but just got outmaneuvered by him. I think that it's no... I don't know. I think Oliveira would do good against Khabib. Am I wrong? Better stand-up, rangy, tall, long, phenomenal jiu-jitsu on the ground. Is not afraid to be taken to the ground. Khabib shoots with his head on the outside, and Oliveira's got a sick guillotine. I think that's fair enough. I don't think Oliveira beats Dan Hooker, Tony Ferguson. Well, maybe Tony Ferguson's tough. I don't think he beats Gaethje. Don't think he beats McGregor, Poirier. But Khabib, he's got a great chance. That's why styles make fights. But, you know, that's all good. Yeah. I can't fucking wait to watch your reaction to Till getting his fucking face caved in. Okay. Till getting KO'd by Maz is my favorite moment on your stream. It was horrible. It was horrible. Because of the groin shot. As soon as the groin shot happened, I was already salty about it. But then he dropped him straight after, and I was like, but I was still salty about the groin shot. And then Masvidal took him down, and I got really pissed. Man, Till was my favorite. Well, he still is one of my favorite fighters, just because he's the only one I can kind of relate to a little bit. I'm watching this while having a fat shit. Interesting. Enjoy it. What about beating Ben Askren and Darren Till makes Jorge a BMF? Dude, he fought in the streets when he was young. Do you not get that? Of course he's a BMF, dude. Where can I see that reaction? I've got all my fucking videos up, so just go through them. Yoel has a good takedown, but can't keep them down. It's true. He has really good takedown and really good takedown defense. But once he's down, he gets a little bit lazy on his scrambles. And once he's on top, he doesn't keep them there whatsoever. Like, it's just... He's learned the in-the-middle parts of MMA grappling, which is international wrestling. What's your saddest moment as a fan? Mine is Tony versus Justin. That really bugged me. That really, really bugged me. Tony versus Justin really bugged me, but not because I saw Tony lose. That already bugged me. But the commentary was so biased, and they fucked over Tony Ferguson so bad, and I was even angrier about that happening. Then everyone turned on me for saying that I said Ferguson might have won 2 rounds, and people turned on me. Everyone in my chat turned on me at the time. And that really, really pissed me off because they were literally delusional. And then it came out a few days later, people rewatched the fight, and Tony at least won 2 rounds. There you go. Like, they just fucked up Tony Ferguson, but I was more angry that everyone was just acting like I was delusional by saying it. But then they rewatched it, and I kind of felt better that I was right in the end. But the commentary, it was just disgraceful, man. Like, I still have the saved clips. I just don't have Premiere Pro to edit them together. I still have the saved clips of Gaethje missing punches that the commentary say landed. Like, it, whatever. Conor losing against Khabib was the saddest, yeah. After Whittaker Till, you won't be happy. I mean, I won't be happy regardless of the outcome because I feel bad for Whittaker if he gets KO'd. I like Whittaker. He's a nice guy, you know. Oliveira is underrated. He is, but just elite strikers beat him every time. Because Oliveira doesn't have good offensive grappling. He has good defensive grappling. And if he can't get a guy to shoot on him, he doesn't get to use his jiu-jitsu. Or if he doesn't rock a guy on the feet, he doesn't get to use his jiu-jitsu. But if the guy's better than him on the feet, then they just win. I want Oliveira to keep improving. Yeah, same here. I think he should take on Diego Ferreira and get a free improvement bout, in my opinion. The saddest money was James Vick getting up-kicked. I mean, that was tough. I actually picked him to beat Price in that fight as well. By TKO ground and pound round 1. I was so close. And then he just gets up-kicked out of nowhere. Damian Maia versus Maurice Green prediction. I'll go Damian Maia. Because, well, actually, I don't know. Is Damian Maia moving up to heavyweight and, you know, changing his BMI to double what it is now? Maybe Damian Maia gets caught in the Volante choke. You never know. Saddest moment as a fan was Maia walking out to Numb shortly after Chester Bennington killed himself. Yeah, I don't even remember that. Oliveira is delusional as fuck. Yeah, he's a little bit, but, you know, you got to be. Otherwise, you don't make headlines. Price is so awesome. I've got another card you guys might like the sound of if you like the sound of Nico Price. You ready to hear one of the best cards you've ever heard in your fucking life? Here it comes. Wait, which card is it? Oh my god, I made so many cards. What the fuck? Hold on, I've made too many cards. Maybe I didn't even put Mike Perry in it. Oh no, I did put Mike Perry in there. But I don't know who to have on the main card. I've got 4 fights for October 3rd. Gilbert Burns versus Leon Edwards in the main event. Andre Philly versus Bryce Mitchell in the co-main event. Mike Perry versus Nico Price in the feature fight. Kay Hansen versus Luma Lukeboom on the main card because they're obviously going to be pushing Kay Hansen. She makes headlines. I don't know why. I actually have no idea why she makes headlines. She's like 7-3, but she makes headlines. I get why, but I just don't know how that. It's just weird to me, It's literally just based on looks. Life is so unfair for ugly people, man. People should. I don't want to say it, but there should be a ULM, Weidman's title defenses weren't that good, all out of their prime former champions. I mean, Weidman was kind of just like the young guy on the block when he came up, like if you were to tell me that Mark Munoz was a win on a champion's resume, Mark Munoz was good, but it was very clear that he was past his prime, Bayless versus Lewis. Bayless? Skip Bayless? Who are you talking about, Bayless? I mean, Olenek. I'll go with Lewis against Olenek. Bayless versus Lewis. I don't know what you're talking about. Uncle Dana said Burns is getting a title shot, though. If Usman wins, but if Masvidal wins, there's no way Burns is getting a title shot. There's just no way. I should be recording my predictions right now, but I'm watching Incel TV instead. Welcome to Incel TV and welcome. Thank you very much for tuning in. Happiest moment, Nate choking Connor. That was your happiest moment. I actually didn't even feel too bad about Connor. I wasn't really I wasn't at the start. I was never really a big McGregor super fan, I don't know though. Like maybe it's because I was already watching the sport that I didn't really notice him as much. But I don't know. It feels bigger to go back and watch McGregor's come up because I know he was main event and stuff. But I remember thinking to myself on the UFC Dublin card, when they made him versus Brandao the main event, I thought to myself, that's a fucking shit card. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's different because a lot of people got into the sport around the McGregor time, but McGregor versus Brandao. Let me see the card. UFC Fight Night. What was this card? Nelson Cummings wasn't big at the time. Prickett versus McCall. It was a 4-fight main card. Norman Park versus Naoki Kotani. Pickett versus McCall was a good fight. Nelson wasn't really known back then against Zach Cummings in the co-main event. I don't know. I get it. Obviously, when you look back at some of these cards, they seem a little bit better than they were at the time because, look, Nikita Krylov's on the card. Alila Latifi's on the card as well. Kafal Pendred went to war with Mike King on that card. I remember that one. Kafal Pendred fucking got destroyed for a whole round and then came back and beat Mike King. That was a great performance. But yeah, all good. What do you think about main event after weigh-ins? Main event after weigh-in? Oh, I think Usman beats him still. Johnny Walker will champion next year. I'm banning people who spam too much, man. Happiest moment, Nick Diaz KOing Lawler. You're banned. Why'd you have to type it 3 times? What makes Leon Edwards a title challenger with wins over Gunnar Nelson, RDA, Cowboy, who he took to a decision? It doesn't. He needs one more fight. I've always said that about Leon Edwards. I agree with you. I don't think he's worthy of a title shot. McGregor will always be the biggest star because he's the only reason we even started following MMA, UFC religiously. But I was kind of watching before then, though. But I wasn't hardcore back then. I was just like, let me see the card. Am I going to watch it? Who's on the card? Is Donald Cerrone on the card? Is GSP on the card? Is this guy on the card? Nick Diaz, Anderson Silva? Like, I'd watch the big fights. But, yeah, I remember my opinion of the McGregor-Brandao becoming main event was like, who the fuck is this guy? Why is he getting a main event? That makes no sense. But paid off in the end for him, I guess. Conor punches an old man. Damn, that's crazy. Mike Perry defends himself. This is inexcusable. He needs counseling now. I think I know what you mean. It's just retarded. The sport's just getting softer and softer, McGregor mad at the UFC. I've made the UFC what it is. He did. Conor TKO's old men. When Mike Perry hits old men, they don't fucking move. Yeah, it's true. Who the fuck is that guy? We 3 title fights. Why did I read that as a W? 3 title fights, and I still can't understand where Kevin Lee fit into all of this. But the real question is, where does Keith Lee fit into everything? Kevin Lee's younger brother, because he has got shafted in his career, and his career might have been ruined by bad split decisions. But Keith Lee, MMA I have to type in because he's a wrestler apparently. Killer Keith Lee, 6-3. He's had 2 split decision losses that were just, yeah, he got his career fucked up, man. But that's okay. He's beaten some good guys, though. He beat a guy who was 9-4 in his last fight. Sean Bunch. It was a close fight, but he got it done. I watched that one live as well. That was a good card. Bellator 239. Who was on 239? Ruth versus Amasov. Oh, yeah, there was no UFC that weekend. Good stuff. Miles Jury, Brandon Gertz. Interesting. Interesting indeed. There's nothing up my nose, but I'm going to pick it. Breaking news, AP Joseph Rogan found deceased in Texas apartment. He hasn't moved there yet, dude. Killer Keith Lee, Lamafo, you got to be shitting me. Killer Keith Lee. I mean, you guys don't know about Keith Lee? You need to look, man. Look at some of these other cards. You'll find some relations to people that you don't realize. A lot of families get into the same sport, I guess. But yeah, Killer Keith Lee, 6-3. It rhymes. He should keep the 3 losses. Maia versus Khabib. Who wins? I'll go with Maia. Actually, no, I'll go with Maia. I'll go with Maia. What? Khabib's going to I'll go with Maia. Fuck it. I think Maia gets it standing fucking rear naked choke. I'll go with Maia. Fuck you. Trying to bet. I feel like you're alluding that there's no way you'll pick Maia. But Maia would. I think Maia. For sure. Next, I mean, Maia used to be a middleweight. There's no way Khabib beats him. It's going to be a grappling match, you know? The next embedded episode is out, Guru. You're going to watch? Yeah. I know. I'm not really feeling the buzz of the embedded. There's nothing crazy happening. Other than that altercation where they were close together. It's like, okay, dude. You get it, you know? I don't know. I just feel like they should try a lot harder. Why did you upload the Ngannou Demetrius Johnson one? That wasn't even funny. Oh, MMA Guru bloopers is so fucking... Pick the good bits, man. That wasn't even a funny bit that I did. That's such a lazy bit. Honestly, I feel like MMA Guru bloopers is working against me sometimes. There's such amazing moments in the stream that you just don't upload. And then you just... fuck you. Aljo versus Yan. Maya he, Maya ha, Maya he, Maya ha ha. Volante is in UFC 4. I mean... How else would they involve the Volante choke if they don't put Volante himself in there, you know? We could watch Embedded together right now. It's 9 minutes. I'll go through it with you guys. I'm not going to hear anything because I can't play audio, but, you know, Volkanovski walking around, Volkanovski in a race car. That's not entertaining to me. I don't understand, though. That just isn't entertaining. Oh, he's in a race car? Wow. Okay. Brad Riddell is there. Oh, that hairline's going. Brad Riddell's there, though. It's good to see him. Good to see him. He needs to be on a card soon. I like him as coach, but he needs to get on a card again soon because he hasn't. We need to make the most of Brad Riddell. I want him versus Renato Moicano on the Adesanya Costa card. CKB versus Brazil. It makes all the sense in the world. And then you've got Jose Aldo's room, which is just Aldo trying to stay alive while cutting weight. Literally just Aldo licking his lips, laying on the ground. That's Aldo's embedded feature. Very cool. Van Zandt doing jump rope. You love to see it. You love to see it. Keep jumping. Van Zandt getting in some hard grappling with Ricky Simone. Boy, Ricky. Get in there, Ricky. Oh my God, Van Zandt rotating and turning on Ricky Simone. This is why they can't get good at MMA. This is why they don't get, because people just let them have stuff in grappling. I've watched so many of those things where like the women are grappling with the men when they're training and they just give them positions and you're never going to learn if you do that to them. Like they never just crush the girls into actually whatever. I'm not even going to get into it. I sound like an incel. But okay, who's this? Rose Namajunas getting massaged. We'll come back to that one later when the stream's off. Masvidal walking around, throwing a ball to people. Spike ball. I've played that before. Played a bit of spike ball in my day. I like it. Let's not injure ourselves. I'll watch that one. I don't know. I've kind of just ruined the whole episode for myself, but still. It's all good. And Guru will smash Kamaru. Calm down. There are ads on your live stream, Guru. Good job, bro. There's ads on I didn't even put an ad. There's an ad button, but I'm not pressing it. I don't press the ad button. Insert ad. I don't do it. Rose ain't fit. She's alright, though. She's being compared to fighters, dude. You don't have to be that good. Sean O'Malley embarrasses Max Holloway any day. No ads. CM Punk versus Mickey Gall 2 is the fight to make. Oh, we need to see it. We need to actually see it. I won't rest. Like Khabib Ferguson, get out, man. It's not even worth it. Let's just make sure that other one happened. But I've got a card for UFC 254. Adesanya Paulo Costa. Weili Zhang versus Rose Namajunas. Yes, I'm jinxing it. I don't give a fuck. I think she wins. Lawler versus Magny. I don't fucking know why, but we're doing that because we need it to be on the main card. Renato Moicano versus Brad Riddell. Anderson Silva versus Luke Rockhold because he said he wants to make a comeback. Why not? And then Ryan Spann, Jimmy Crute, Caceres versus Shane Young, Cara France versus Roy Val, and then Tuivasa versus Dan Ho. And then the early prelims, which I don't really give a fuck about. MMA Guru fucks Vince McMahon. Yeah, for sure, dude. Justin Gaethje. What? Guru, that's a shit card. I honestly, there's not many names to go round right now. Honestly, there isn't. Because if you put, here's the thing though. Here's the problem I'm having. Who else though? Because there's so many cards that you can't really make great cards. This is a good card though. Silva, Rockhold, Moicano, Riddell, Zhang, Namajunas, Adesanya, Costa kind of carries it. Fucked himself. What do you mean fucked himself? Best chin, Tony and Nate. Yeah, I guess so. They can't really. But Nate's been TKO'd, so it kind of defeats the purpose of it. But still, there's some good cards here. Like September 26th, Covington versus Woodley. Main event. Jeff Neal versus Santiago Ponzinibbio. If he actually retired, I don't give a fuck. Let's get him back in there. Jeff Neal, Ponzinibbio is the co-main event. Gedalia, Yan Xiaonan already signed. Nelson versus Kraus on the main card. And then Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez to kick off the main card. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, you know. I would watch. It'll be a good card. Guru, can you fart for your audience, please? Hashtag fart time. No. Ponzi has COVID. Interesting. Tony also got brutally TKO'd last fight. No, he didn't. They just stepped in because the commentary was biased. He got rocked. Tony got rocked. That's not a TKO finish, in my opinion. That doesn't question his chin. He literally got stopped because his chin was too good. The question he asked was, who's got the best chin in MMA? You know? Tony's the kind of guy whose chin is so good, they have to just... Oh, yeah. I was sarcastic. It's all good. Izzy versus Costa main event. Co-main Zhang Weili versus... And whoever wins. Ortega versus KZ won't go to a fourth, so just make it 3 rounds. It's true. Sean versus Cheetah. It's decent. Why would you do Sean? I don't know. That takes away main event potentials on fight nights, so I don't like doing that. And I like title elimination bouts to be 5 rounds. I need title elimination bouts to be 5 rounds. I don't know why. I just like it. It makes sense to me. Especially on fight nights. Fight night headliner should always be title elimination. Like Ioanni and Jacek, Tatiana Suarez. With a solid co-main event, that's a great main event of a fight night. It has to have a good co-main. Like a big co-main who's a huge name. Like Ioanni and Jacek Suarez is the main event, and then I don't even know. But it needs a good co-main event. But still, I like these cards. They're good. They're good cards. Like 253, Khabib versus Gaethje, main event. Reyes versus Blachowicz for the interim belt as the co-main event. I've put Burns Edwards in here for some fucking bizarre reason. I don't know why. I must have been making these cards at different times. Makhachev Dober on the main card. Jared Cannonier versus Jacare Souza on the main card. Alaya Quinta versus Dos Anjos to headline the prelims. Krylov versus Serkinov. Dern versus Marcos is already on that card. And then Muradov versus Vieira to open up the prelims. That's a great card. Well-prepared Tony beats every lightweight. I don't know. Can CM Punk beat John Lennon in a 10-round boxing match? I mean, can CM Punk bring people back from the dead? I think that's a bit more of the prediction, you know? Sounds like gas. It'll be a good card, you know? Would you take on Woodley in a street fight, be honest? What's the situation, though? Is it just Woodley's over there, fight him? If Woodley's in my face, I'm going to fucking swing at him, dude. I don't give a fuck. What happens? I get KO'd? Oh, no. I got KO'd by a UFC fighter. The payoff, random beanie-wearing vigilante KO's evil race card baiting former UFC champion. You know? Imagine there's no judges. It's easy if you try. It's true. How many fights is Qatar from a title shot? 3. Or it depends who he gets. If Ortega beats the Korean Zombie, and Qatar beats Ige, they could just do Ortega versus Qatar for a title shot. So it depends. It depends what happens. 2 or 3, though. Max Holloway has the best chin in the UFC. Yeah, he's a good chin, but, I think he's got a good chin. Don't get me wrong. It's hard to say that someone has a great chin when they're at featherweight, bigger than everyone, but I get what you mean. It's all good. Guru's actually black. It's true. Max Holloway is the best. I'm actually so black that I've gone past the blackness level. That's actually a true thing. Like, I was so black that it just was like, this guy's too black. Like, he's gone past black into white. Like, there's a white past black. You guys don't know about it, but, what happens to charcoal when it gets heated up? Does it go blacker? No. That's just the cycle of life. That's how white people got there in the first place. Just black people sunbathing too much. Valentina versus Weili Zhang. That's actually a true thing. That's science, guys. That's actually how white people were created. Black people, too much melanin. There's too much melanin. You're not allowed any more melanin. And then white people come out. That's how it works. Did you ever cuff your farts? When I was a kid, I used to catch fart bubbles in a flannel and then squeeze it out in the bath. Definitely people did that. And I will not stand for people saying that they didn't do that. When's Valentina fighting? That's hard to decide. Yeah, it's true, though. Scientist guru, Dr. Guru. Listen up. Masvidal versus Conor super fight if he beats Usman. I could see it happening. I think Masvidal beats him. If Masvidal gets past Usman, I could see Masvidal grappling McGregor, trying to take him down and stuff. Honestly, Melo 1-for-1. I don't know what that means. Can you show up for your audience, please? No. Do a rematch with Weili versus Joanna? No, not at all. Only if Andrade wins. If Andrade doesn't win and Namajunas wins, do Namajunas versus Weili, and then do Jędrzejczyk versus Suarez. People in San Francisco cuff their darts because it's good for the environment and climate. That's just disgusting. You're whiter than Valentina. I'll take it, man. I like being white. Fuck you guys. Usman is not KO in Masvidal. Oh, sorry, I'm not allowed to say that. I hate being white. Sorry. Forgot I was on YouTube. I hate it. My bad, guys. Almost got demonetized then. Shevchenko is a sex goddess. I said that so loudly. Fuck. And I didn't even have a response for it. Cool. I don't think she's that good. Shevchenko's alright, guys, but I don't know. Valentina Shevchenko images. Where's all the meat? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just, I don't know. If you're into that, I don't know. I'm not sold on the craze of Valentina Shevchenko, but that's okay. A lot of people, I don't know. But, you're comparing them to fighters, so obviously they're going to be different. Tall, bronze, caramel, intelligent, good hair. That's me. Okay, good. You're from Sweden. You're not tall, bronze, and caramel. That's racist. And we can see your profile picture. You're not tall, bronze. You're not bronze and caramel. And you're not intelligent because we've heard you chatting in my chat for the last fucking few months. Definitely not. Ribas. Valentina versus Rachel Ostovich for hottest UFC fighter belt. No. I'm not full Swedish. Oh, you're one of them ones. You're one of them Makwana Mekani Scandinavians, eh? Eh? Like how Makwana Mekani's Finnish. All right, Mr. Finland. Tricking border patrol. Tricky little Makwan. Names himself Mr. Finland, eh? Sneaking past. Tricky guy. Oliveira versus Hooker. Ding in the hangman Hooker will TKO him in the first 2 rounds. I think Masvidal wins. Am I the only one that thinks Conor KOs Masvidal? At 170, I just don't see it happening. But it could do. I don't know. I think it could do. I'm going to switch. I swear I watched Masvidal versus Diaz again. And there's some stuff that can happen with Masvidal on the feet. I don't know. I would be open to switch to McGregor beating Masvidal. I need to watch more. I don't know, man. I don't judge fights by the finish of them. You've got to judge fights by what happens in the fight. I still don't know how an Askren versus Masvidal fight would go. I would edge on the side of picking Masvidal to win by TKO, but I don't know how that fight would go again. We have no idea if Masvidal would be able to defend a takedown. We didn't learn anything. It was just a flying knee in the first round. Cool. It happened. Amazing. But we don't know anything. Diaz versus Masvidal. Yeah. That was kind of sus for Masvidal. He was not outclassing Masvidal. He was not outclassing Diaz on the feet. I know, man. It's interesting. That's all I'm saying. Masvidal was better than Usman in the clinch. I don't know about that one either, man. How crazy is it that Khabib is the GOAT but also fucks men? Okay, there we go. Name one champ you think will be champ for a long time. I think Alexander Volkanovski has the chance to become GOAT. I don't know. I think he'll lose to Josh Emmett. I think Josh Emmett's just a better version of him. But now without an ACL, so maybe not. How have you made your parlay yet? No, I haven't. Sorry. Well, who's Jorge calling out if he wins? Oh, yes, I read that out and ignored you. Probably GSP and McGregor at the same time, and then just hedges his bet on which one answers. And if neither of them answer, he'll call out Nate Diaz. Do you consider Yoel taking Weidman down and getting his back at the end of round 2 as out wrestling Weidman? Not really. I mean, there was one moment in the match where something happened where Yoel got the better of it, but what did he do with it? You know? I know. I just look at MMA grappling and it's like, what did you get from it? What did you do with it? Fair enough, you did a real slick back take against Weidman. What happened, though? You know? The round's over. You didn't really do anything. I just look at effectiveness of what they use as a skill. Like, I can see a really crisp and technical looking jab. If it doesn't fucking land, then I don't give a fuck about him. You know? I can see a perfect straight right hand. If it doesn't pop the guy's head back, it's not going to get much of a reaction out of me, you know? Diaz is liked not because of the caliber of fighter, but for being Diaz. Yeah, he's just memeable. Memeable. Even though he's like anti-gangster, because everything he does is kind of un-gangster. But he's just memeable, you know? He's become... Listen, the only way, and this is true other than Masvidal, or even still, Masvidal got a fruit of Conor McGregor's labor. People have to beat Conor or beat someone who Conor beat, or beat someone who beat Conor. That's the only way they get to the star power they're at. Other than Adesanya, when you're that far removed from divisions. Like, you've got guys like Masvidal. He earned his name off of Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz earned his name off of Conor McGregor. And I know people are going to say, Diaz was a name before Conor McGregor. No, he fucking wasn't at all. He went from like 80k followers to 2 million overnight almost after beating Conor McGregor. That's just not the case that he was a huge name. And you look at Khabib, beat McGregor. Huge name. Second biggest name in the UFC other than McGregor, in my opinion. Who are the gay male UFC fighters? I don't know. Masvidal didn't need Conor and he's still big. No, he did, though, because he needed Diaz, and Diaz got his clout from Conor. You know? Masvidal didn't need Conor, unlike Diaz and Khabib. No. Dan MMA, I know what you mean. I know you're a big Masvidal fan, but he got Diaz. And by you saying that Diaz needed McGregor, you're also saying that Masvidal benefited from that as well. You know? Because, you know, Masvidal wouldn't be headlining 244 if it wasn't Diaz. In fact, I don't think there was another guy active at welterweight that he could have got a headliner at 244 against, unless it was a title shot. Like, even him versus Colby, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't even think him versus Colby would headline 244. You know? What do you think happens, DC versus Stipe 3? I think Stipe gets him in the 3rd round. A lot of people say that Stipe adjusted and he's lucky he adjusted and he's going to have to take time to adjust and it took him so long. And DC is open to body shots. He leans over all the time. DC leans over to that side. He's open to body shots on his right-hand side. And if Stipe can make the adjustment in the 4th round, the prediction shouldn't be, can Stipe make that adjustment again, which is what a lot of people are talking about. The prediction should be, Stipe has found the recipe. What happens if he starts doing it in the 1st round? Because body shots are good against takedowns. Throwing body shots are one of the greatest ways to counteract takedowns. Greatest ways, because first of all, the guy's body is moving towards you at the same time if he's going for takedowns or clinch. Also, if you drop your hand for a body shot, you've immediately got underhooks with that hand. Also, when you drop yourself for a body shot, you lower your center of gravity and sturdy your base, which is also good against wrestlers, Body shots are great against wrestlers. I don't know why guys don't do it more, but Stipe figured it out. So DC's going to out-wrestle him. Okay, DC tried to take him down in the first fight. Nothing happened. Stipe took DC down. DC tried to take Stipe down in the second fight. Got a takedown. Did nothing with it. Landed some decent shots. Other than that, not much else. Then tried to take Stipe down again in the second round. Stipe stuffed a takedown. Stipe took him down. And then DC tried again. Couldn't get it. I'm done with this. This time DC will wrestle. Last time and the time before that, DC tried. Couldn't get it. So I don't really give a fuck anymore. Stipe wins a decision. I think Stipe wins TKO third round. Search up Santa Maria, California. Smaller cage, though. Didn't he protest about that? The smaller cage might come into things, honestly. It actually might make me change some things because it is going to be a huge factor. But I still think Stipe, even in a smaller cage, I'd pick Stipe, I reckon. Henry Cejudo versus Francis Ngannou prediction. Who did you say first, other than Ngannou? Henry Cejudo. Okay. I didn't even process it as a fight. We'll go Cejudo, of course. Okay, Guru, if Masvidal were to win, how would he win? I know by KO, but what would he throw to finish him? Because you were 100% accurate with the Ben Jorge prediction. Usman's open to hooks. He's open to left hooks. I think Masvidal, if he does win, catches him with the same thing he caught Darren Till with. The fake right hand to the step through and then the left hook behind it. He'd catch him with the same punch he caught Till with if he does finish him. And then he rocks him from there and then TKOs him, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to be a one-punch KO if he does win. I could see him wobbling Usman and then just being Masvidal enough to finish him from there, you know? But yeah, it's going to be a good one. I've got a tenner on Paige Van Zandt. Thoughts? Good idea. She's really good odds. I don't think she wins, but might as well take advantage of the odds. Usman has never been dropped. Yeah, but he's been rocked a couple times. You know? He got rocked against Emil Meek. He got rocked against Leon Edwards a tiny bit, but then he immediately went for a takedown, so I don't really think you can say rocked. He got wobbled a couple times against Colby. He got clipped by someone else as well. I can't even fucking remember who it was. But he got clipped badly by someone else. Colby rocked him a lot. Yeah, he did. And Colby, if Colby's doing it, and Colby was doing it with the left hook, because Usman, when he shells up, you know, he's got kind of a bit of a Gaethje guard, which would kind of make sense seeing as he's now training over at Gaethje's gym with Gaethje. I think that would maybe even hone the Gaethje guard in a little bit more of just covering up and leaving yourself open for hooks and uppercuts. I think you'll get clipped by Masvidal with a left hook. If he does lose, I think Usman's going to win, though, for sure. Who do you use to place bets? I don't know. Whatever. Whoever has the best odds, I guess. What if Henry Cejudo becomes a commentator? 365 bet. I did once the Bisping one because he had a promotion on it for Believe You Me. Whatever one Bisping. Bet DSI or some shit like that. Most well-rounded fighters, Guru. Most well-rounded. Fuck off, man. I don't like these questions. They're too difficult. Most well-rounded. Fuck. GSP has got to be in the mix. That's about it. Could Colby beat Marty Newsman, fake Newsman, in a rematch? Only if he fights in between. If he fights Usman right now, coming off the loss, he's not going to win. If he has momentum behind him, he's got a better chance, but he won't beat him in an immediate rematch. There's no way. Dawson, who should Dillashaw fight when he comes back? The winner of Cruz versus Sandhagen in September. I don't make the rules. Jones, Cejudo is getting through a round in wrestling by Braun Strowman. Interesting. What is your can't lose parlay? I don't know yet. GSP, Conor, John, Jones, DC, DJ, some of the most well-rounded. Yeah, but obviously GSP's name comes first above all of them. Conor's, he's good. I wouldn't put him in the list with Jones and GSP, but he's well-rounded. But, you know, most overrated fighter. Overrated? Nate Diaz. Or Zabit. Well, not Zabit, because Zabit is still number 2 in the division. Nate Diaz, though. But Conor's not really well-rounded. Well, he kind of is good in different areas, but he's just not in the mix with the rest of them. at all. I would never think of putting Conor's name in the most well-rounded. Like, he's good, well-rounded enough to be top in the UFC, but top 5 in the UFC, but he's not the most well-rounded guy, you know? He's a beat champ, Johnny Walker. No, Johnny Walker's, maybe you could say that if this was last year, but now I think everyone knows that he's not what we thought he was. But I guess Corey Anderson was a little bit overhyped, but then that's not right now. Ozdemir wins. Sandhagen overrated. Sandhagen's not overrated. He beat Asuncao more dominantly than Garbrandt, in my opinion, because Asuncao was even on strikes with Garbrandt. Like, Sandhagen just outstruck and outscrambled Asuncao every single round. So, I don't know. Luke Rockhold is underrated. He is, but he's also his chin is gone, so it's tough. Francis knocks out Gain. Yeah. I think Ngannou's just got unfair power. You know. I recall when Guru picked Anderson to beat Yam. Yeah, he was overrated though. I fell for it. You crazy as hell thinking Nate's overrated. But he is though. People consider him a title elimination bout. He's barely top 15. Oh my god, that's crazy. UFC 251 live. Okay, here's how you watch UFC 251 live. You switch on your brain, and you might ask that same question, instead of this in this pointless chat, into a search engine known as Google. It's just come out. So just type it in there, and maybe that'll give you an answer, you know? Nate is definitely overrated. Nate is so overrated, like ridiculously. Like, people actually think that Nate is like... People like put Nate up there. Yeah, Nate isn't even in the question, you know? In the equation. Masvidal stops Usman with a liver kick. That's a good idea. I don't think he's going to be throwing many kicks, though, against Usman. Especially switch kicks, because they've got a set up to... I know he does it fast, but, I mean, all Usman has to do is catch a leg, and then he's got a takedown, pretty much. So, we'll see what happens. I really hope Usman fucking loses, though. Usman would do good things at middleweight. No, he wouldn't. He can't out-grapple Derek Brunson. I've seen the videos. Usman would do good things at middleweight. No, he wouldn't. I don't know why I read that one again. Masvidal's fans are Diaz fans, which are Conor fans, which are 90% casual. Yeah. But, you know, Diaz fan. I don't even know. Diaz is just not in the mix to me. Look at Nate Diaz's resume. Other than Conor McGregor, on short notice for himself, other than Conor McGregor, who had staph infection and was coming up to 170 pounds from 145 pounds. Who has Nate Diaz beaten in his career? Pettis, who broke his foot in the first round, took him to a decision. Fair enough. It's hard to finish Pettis. Not many people do it. That no one really does it unless he quits on the store. Obviously Holloway at 45, but still. Michael Johnson. It's a good win. Good win. Before that, it was Gray Maynard. That name relevant whatsoever. Jim Miller's a decent one, but, you know, not ranked. That's all. Donald Cerrone. Decent name back then, but still, you know. These are good names, but just anyone right now who's a relevant threat to any belt? No. Not at all. Not at all. Tony. Juicy Parlager. No, I'm good. Lawler top 5 all-time welterweights. Lawler top 5 all-time welterweight. I don't know. Kurt Pellegrino. Yeah. Remember my message? They like him for being Diaz, not for being a high-level fighter. I know, but I'm just saying that, you know, they actually think that he's like a top level. But that's okay. Nate Diaz is very good, but he's just not top 5. I don't even think he's top 10, but he's all right. Neil versus Lawler. Need your... That makes no sense, though. Why would they do that with Neil? Neil should fight Chiesa, right? That's a great matchup. Neil versus Chiesa. Give him an actual current ranked fighter in that division. Because I'm sick of Jeff Neal being number 10 at welterweight without fighting a single ranked opponent. His best win is against Nico Price and Mike Perry, who aren't ranked and aren't even top 20. So I understand how he's number 10, but cool. He beat Frank Camacho. I guess he beat Bilal Muhammad in a close fight as well, but Bilal Muhammad isn't even top 20. So I don't get it. I don't know how he's number 10, but still, good for him. Someone got 2,000 likes and said Nate would fuck up Burns in a Burns video. I hate MMA sometimes, man. Nate is trash. Burns would probably kill him, like actually kill him. Yeah, it's true. Burns would annihilate Nate Diaz. Annihilate him. Burns would sub Leon. I think Burns would submit Nate Diaz just out of... Actually, that's facts. I think Burns would submit Nate Diaz. just to prove a point, I think Burns would go for a submission and just immediately manhandle Nate Diaz and submit him. You can't finish Nate Diaz. He's just too scarred up. No, by submission, you can. I think Burns would submit him easily. And that is not even a question. If you think that Nate Diaz stands any chance in a jiu-jitsu match against Burns, you don't know jiu-jitsu. Burns has been in there with the best in the fucking world. Nate Diaz submits Burns round 1. Okay. Oh, shut up, Guru. You're acting like that's not true. Oh, sorry, no. Nate Diaz would beat Gilbert Burns. Yeah, Nate Diaz. How many world championships in jiu-jitsu has Nate Diaz won again? Okay, cool. Never mind. Nate Diaz's BJJ is overrated. I mean, just saying. It's not like Burns at all. It's just different levels. Nate Diaz's jiu-jitsu is very good. Very, 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 very good. But Burns is like different levels. Isn't Burns like the 4-time World Cup winner in jiu-jitsu or some shit like that? Let me see Burns' credentials here. Maybe 7, I want to say. Bum 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 bum. Second degree black belt in jiu-jitsu, but he won a bunch of competitions. Grappling credentials, here we go. Oh, it was 7. ADCC world 3rd placer, IBJJF no-gi world champion, IBJJF gi world champion, IBJJF no-gi world champion again in 2010. So he's a 2-time no-gi world champion. ADW, there's too many letters, but he's won so many. 2009, 2007, world runner-up, Brazilian Cup champion, Abu Dhabi Pro champion, Brazilian national champion, World Cup champion, no-gi world champion. Like, there's just, you cannot compare this to Diaz whatsoever. What is Diaz? The Stockton best jiu-jitsu player? You know? The best triangle in Stockton. That's not a credential. Did Mike Perry new girlfriend ruin him? I don't know. But, you know. We'll see what happens. Tito Ortiz or Dana White? Dana White. I'll probably go. As much as Tito Ortiz is still a fighter, I don't even mind Dana's chances in that fight, you know? I think Dana can pack a punch. He's got big hands, and he's a big guy, and he's on roids. So, listen, Ortiz's chin is not... I'm not saying that... I don't know. I just think that Dana's got a decent chance there. In an actual fight, not in a cage where they have to stand across from each other and then fight. But if it was just in like a corridor, I reckon Dana could dish out some nasty shots. Fuck yeah, Guru, smoke. Guys, come on now. Diaz teaches kids jiu-jitsu classes on a Sunday morning and goes on bike rides with the elderly. He makes animal balloons with a right hand and gang signs with a left hand. Dillashaw versus Yan. I'll go with Yan, especially if Dillashaw's coming back to fight Yan. There's no way he wins. Got any snackaroonies? I do. I have some fucking red hot fucking what's-its because he didn't have any of the normal kind, man. Dana could beat the shit out of 99% of men alive. He was a decent boxer, like he's boxed. So I don't think about 99%, but I'd say 90%. He's got 90% of guys. Jerry Projaska is what Johnny Walker never was. Yeah, I'll say so. We'll see, though. We'll see, man, because he hasn't beat anyone in the UFC yet, and he hasn't beat really any good guys yet other than Nemkov, who I don't know how good he would do in the UFC, but, you know, he's all right. I just don't know. Change the stream name to Nate Diaz Discussion. Stop bringing him up. I'm banning Animesh Sehu. He keeps bringing up Nate Diaz when we're trying to fucking talk about Jiri Projaska. God, where is this guy? I'm banning him. Animesh Sehu, you're banned for 300 seconds. Stop bringing up Nate Diaz. We're trying to talk about Jiri Projaska here. Dan Hooker versus Charles Oliveira prediction. Dan Hooker, 1st or 2nd round TKO. Pretty easy. Dan Hooker destroys Oliveira. I mean, elite strikers beat Oliveira. Dan Hooker would piece him up in the 1st round. What's-it's overrated? Monster Munch all day. I mean, they're both good, you know. I like What's-it's though. Nate Diaz, Trump 2020. Oh, I've said it. I'm demonetized for having an opposing point of view. My bad. OG's in chat. Dana, I read that from chat, by the way. YouTube admins, please don't take away everything I've worked for my whole life. What is Dillashaw's first fight back? The winner of Sandhagen versus Cruz is so obvious. Then you do Garbrandt versus Munoz. Winner of that might get a title shot if it's Moraes. Sorry, not Munoz, Moraes. And then we'll see what happens. I think you do the winner of Moraes versus Garbrandt. If it's Moraes, give him a title shot. If it's Garbrandt, you give him the winner of Edgar versus Munoz in a rematch. If it's Munoz, and then a fresh fight if it's Edgar. But Edgar and Garbrandt both train at Mark Henry, so who knows? Maybe if Burns gets a title shot and Usman wins against Masvidal, they can do Burns versus Masvidal and then Garbrandt Edgar and have like a teammate on teammate kind of vibe to the card, you know? I don't know why I shimmied like this when I was saying it, but it felt right. Zaleski Dos Santos disrespected against another 36-year-old Russian. Why did they do him like that? I don't know, man. I don't know. Guru for Prime Minister. Ooh, I'll take it. I actually think I'd be pretty good. I think I know what to do. Chris Jackson, $2. Changed your pick on Gamebred versus Usman fight. No, I'm still picking Usman. But Gamebred's got a chance, man. I hope he gets it done. But we'll see. Change your pick on Usman? I don't know. Not yet. I'm still saying Usman wins. I think he still beats him. What happened when you got sick on stream and had to go? Oh, I went and dry heaved and nothing came out. But just the dry heaving made me feel better. I don't even know what was wrong with me. I think I had like food poisoning or something. Because I was trying to shit and nothing was happening either. When you got sick and stream and have to go, did you just rush straight to the toilet? Yeah, 100%. Trump 2020, Guru versus Paige Van Zandt prediction. She gets me by triangle choke because I'm just enjoying it too much. I reckon. 100%. Guru is a Tory. I'm not a Tory. I'm just pro-democracy. It's no big deal. Till versus Robert prediction. Till beats him. Till beats him second round TKO. Whitaker overreaches with a lead hand and Till catches him with a left. Beats Whitaker. I don't think Whitaker's the same, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think that Till beats him now. Guru, can you shart live, please? I actually can't. There's nothing in there. I haven't had any Pepsi today. I've got a big bottle right here, but I haven't had it. Creepy sleeping Joe Biden. Stop making me say stuff that gets me banned, guys. Just shut the fuck up. Guru Goon versus Miami Goon. Definitely going to go with a Guru Goon, you know. Guru for Prime Minister. I mean, I reckon I'd do a decent job, as I said. I think I'd be all right, you know. Hope Till KOs. We'll see. Augustus Gloop versus Chocolate Vacuum 2 prediction. We're going with Gloop in the rematch. He's definitely had the training necessary, you know. He's got the first experience out the way, the pipe. And the tube is just not, it's not conscious enough to make the adjustments, whereas Goop is. So I'll go with Augustus Gloop, you know. Guru, you know UFC 4 is getting revealed tomorrow? Interesting. Why would, I guess they're going to do it live on the broadcast. That'd be interesting. If Woodley changed around as far as his attitude, would you like him, or he's done too many bad things he can't change your mind? He could make me change my mind, but he just doesn't, though. He's just done too many bad things. Race card pulling when it's not needed. He ruins everything. He literally is just a whiner and a bitchy complainer bitch. And people don't like when I call MMA fighters bitches. But you can have the personality of a bitch. It doesn't matter if you're a badass fighter that fights for a living. You can still be a bitch, you know? That's just how it is. Would a prime Ronda beat Nunes? People don't get that, man. Dude, you can't call him a bitch. He's an MMA fighter, but he is a bitch of a person, you know? Even though he's tough and he's a good fighter and he trains hard. He's a bitch. Volk's weight cut looked shit. We'll see. His weight cut rarely ever looks good, but we'll see. He's got a big mark on his nose as well. We'll see what happens, guys. Juan Espino finally signed for a fight. Oh, my God. Hang on a second, guys. Everyone pause what they're doing. Juan Espino has just signed a fight. Everyone shut the fuck up. Where is it? Oh, my God. Shavkat Rakhmonov is out, and Ramazan Emeev will now face Niklas Stolze. Oh, Timo Fucht will now, Kenneth Burke will now face Jorge Gonzalez. Another Jorge. Oh my fucking God. Where is Juan Espino's signed fight? Juan Espino, you know? There's nothing about Juan Espino signing a fight. I'm actually so sad. Second-hand surgery. Wait, he went to like a bad surgeon's or something? Juan Espino eager to return from second-hand surgery? It's a person. Oh, he's... Okay. That's fucking retarded of me. Second-hand surgery rather than second-hand surgery. Fucking Espino? Yeah, fuck Espino, man. Adesanya beat Masvidal super fight if they beat Costa and Usman respectively to decide who's the superstar. That'd be pretty cool. Have you seen Hodge Twins' new channel? Yep. Adesanya versus Masvidal super fight if they beat Costa. Yeah, already answered it. Would Prime Ronda Rousey beat Nunes? No. Prime Ronda Rousey was only good because no one else knew what they were doing. Guru, who would win in a fight? Kanye versus a name that I'm not allowed to say because of demonetization reasons. Unless it's followed by racist or Nazi. I can't say it, but I'll go with DA. I'll go Yeezy winning a fight for sure. Not a presidential race, but a fight. I'll go Yeezy. He'll get it done, you know? God, watch porn. Thank you, pause Fortnite. Guru the type to ask for no ice with his Pepsi because it's too cold for his teeth. I mean, I don't like ice in my... I mean, he kind of got me because I don't like ice in my drinks. I think there's shit in my drinks. It just adds water to the drink. So I don't like ice in my drinks. And plus, I used to go abroad on holiday a lot, and you don't get ice in your drinks in Europe. So fuck that. Why is Perry allowed to say the M word? Because he's 4% black. Juan posted it in his Instagram. Let me see. Juan Espino Instagram. It better be against someone interesting. If it's against some guy that we don't know making their debut, he literally didn't even post it in his Instagram. Oh, wait, hang on. El Guapo is coming. Interesting. He has 51k followers. Okay. Interesting. He's got a bit of following behind him. I like it. Who against, though? Maybe Tanner Bosa? He wanted a quick turnaround. Maybe it's Tanner Bosa. That's true in Rome. No. BJ Penn is about to make another run at the 185-pound division. Only Joker's there. Okay. BJ Penn versus the old guy Perry KO'd prediction. I go with the old guy Perry KO'd because he's gonna bounce back. You know, just give him 6 months off. Obviously, a little bit of brain scanning, and then let him back in there with BJ Penn. But is BJ Penn drunk? In which case, he definitely loses. You know, Trump versus the Queen prediction. The Queen wins. Just via evil, sadistic rituals and backhand deals with. I don't know. Juan Espino is like Juan Espino is Vellante versus Vellante. Probably Espino. I like Espino. He fucked up Maurice Green in the Ultimate Fighter badly. Badly messed up Maurice Green. Like literally destroyed him with a right hand, smacked him, rocked him, then the left hand behind it, dropped him to the floor, and then immediately sunk in the choke. It's just Espino's really good, but it's just I wonder if he's waited too long, you know, because he's not young. Perry or McNugget? I think Perry hits old men better because, you know, it's better when they go for you first, you know. Green versus Espino rematch. Espino would win again because Green's too scared of the takedown and Espino would beat him. Maurice Green is so bad, though. He's not good. He's just really tall and rangy, so he can give heavyweights problem. I mean, Struve beat Stipe. He's not a better fighter by any means, but he's just an awkward guy to face. Which is faker, Usman's growing up poor stories or Mackenzie Dern's accent? Usman's growing up poor stories because they were literally proven to be false. The more he told his stories, the more he revealed he was lying. So definitely Usman. Mackenzie Dern's accent, I could see that happening if you want to fit in. You know? I lost a bit of London accent sometimes when I go places. Or sometimes when I'm talking... If I haven't spoken to my friends in a while, I'll feel weird speaking to my friends again. Because I've been on here talking. And my voice is different on here than it is in real life, I've noticed. Because I'm presenting myself. You know? Kind of. I don't know. There's just I'm like putting on a work voice right now. Like if I was at work. You know? I'd put on this voice. It's weird. Ooh, briefcase. Hermanson versus Gastelum. Hermanson's going to win by submission round 1. Old Man Connor Punch versus... I already answered that so many fucking times. Dan Booker impression. I have no idea who that is. Espino is already 40. Not much hope for him, I know. But, you know, it's heavyweight, so maybe there is. Old Man Connor Punched versus Old Man Perry. Why are you asking that again? I've already answered it. Old Man Perry KO'd. Guru fake multiple personalities. It's not multiple personalities. It's just... Around my friends, I use lingo and language that they would maybe understand. And there's like there's a cadence to the way you speak around your friends that's different, you know? I don't know. You guys wouldn't get me if I spoke the way I spoke to my. I don't know. It's just weird. There's definitely a change in the way I speak. I feel like how Volante is now a meme on this channel. Yeah, Volante is the legend of the Volante choke. You know, I mean, it's just too much. A cadence. Yeah, like a pace, a tempo to the way I speak. You know, it's weird. It's called retardation. It might be. It might be. Cadence. Sus. Sus. How's that sus? Everyone speaks differently around their friends compared to when they're working. Obviously. What the fuck are you talking about, you dumb fuck? I'm joking. Was this Perry's best KO? It was his best KO, yeah. Honestly, I thought I was going to get some backlash for defending Perry. But everyone loved the video, so I'm glad. I'm very glad. Because I put the... Literally, I finished typing best KO yet, ? And I said to myself alone, I can't put this as the thumbnail. Best KO yet. I thought I was going to get some backlash, but everyone seemed to like it, so maybe I did the right thing, you know. Boomer suck. Guru hella sus. How is that sus? Obviously, I'm going to present myself a bit better in front of a lot of people or work people that I'm with compared to when I'm chilling on a sofa with my friend. I'm going to speak differently. You guys are sus. Fix your fucking language. Change to have a work voice. I know. I understand. Even when I'm on the phone as well. I speak differently when I'm on the phone to someone than when I'm speaking to them in person. Because for some reason, I used to work on a phone. So my work voice comes out a bit more, you know. Start a StreamYard session. I'll smash you in MMA impressions. No, I'm good. Is your real name Gregory? No, it's not. It's not at all. Made in China. Stop just saying sus, you fucking annoying fuck. Dan Hooker impression. Smash your face in. Captain Trips. Couple days. $5 from Captain Trips. If Masvidal baptizes Usman, I'll go to church Sunday. My stream is over, but we'll finish on that note. Thank you for the $5. Captain Trips, we've been live for 2 hours. I'm going now, but it's been a wonderful time, ladies and gentlemen. A wonderful time. 2 hours. Very entertaining time. I hope you have been royally entertained by me talking for 2 hours. I don't even know what we spoke about, but there was a lot of Nate Diaz. There was a lot of everything. You know, there was a lot of answering the same questions over and over again and saying that I've answered them. And there was a lot of stuff, you know. Go chills on sofas with boys confirmed. All right, then. All right, see you later, guys. Goodbye. Guru chills on sofas with boys confirmed. See you tomorrow, mate. Guru has 17 personalities. Who? 2 hours, my bottom. It's been 2 hours and 1 minute. Shut up. What time will you be live tomorrow so I can put it on my calendar? The fights are live tomorrow, so whenever the fights start, I will be live. Obviously. Toodle pip. See you later. Goodbye. Yeah. Yeah.